My sister forced me to sleep with her best friend. You bastard, get off. On the big white bed. Weiyang opened her eyes and suddenly found a naked man sleeping next to her. The man was snoring like thunder, holding her in its shape, one hand holding her sensitive parts, one leg still pressing on her, seeming to enjoy it very much. Weiyang felt her mind go blank. She raised her foot and kicked the man. Unexpectedly, the man reacted very quickly. Although he still closed his eyes, he took off the quilt and wrapped it around himself after dodging the kick. Then, he jumped off the bed and stood up. Hey, woman, what are you crazy about? Liu Lang was disturbed from his good dream, his face was full of displeasure, and he muttered, I finally came back to sleep well, but it's not quiet in the early morning. While speaking, Liu Lang also wrapped the quilt on his body tighter, as if he was afraid of exposing himself. Weiyang was stunned, feeling cold all over, and looked down. She was completely naked and white. Also, there was a hint of red not far from her buttocks. She really gave away her first time. Weiyang wanted to grab the quilt to cover her body, but found that the quilt had been taken away by the man in front of her. She had no choice but to grab a pillow to cover her key parts, and then grabbed another pillow and threw it at Liu Lang. What are you looking at? Haven't you seen a woman before? When she shouted this, she inexplicably felt a little weak. After waking up, the anesthetic effect of alcohol gradually disappeared, and there was a faint swelling and pain in a certain part. Liu Lang grabbed the pillow and glanced at Weiyang's half-covered body, as if he was angry with Weiyang, and laughed. What kind of women have I not seen? Women like you, small breasts, no brains, no screams, just lie on the bed and forget it. TSK, if you are not pretty and it's your first time, plus I had no place to sleep last night, do you think you can sleep in the same bed with me? Weiyang was dumbfounded. How can this guy be so shameless? You slept with me, and it's as if I begged you. Originally, I was just drunk in the bar because I was upset, but I didn't expect to meet a man with sweet words. This man looks inconspicuous, but he is a beast like a horse owner. After entangled all night, I was so tired that I slept with him. But remembering that she had taken the initiative last night, Weiyang had to suppress her anger. You just pretended that nothing happened last night, you can leave now. Leave. Liu Lang was a little confused. Woman, you slept with me last night, and you let me go just like that. Besides, I was just crazy last night, and I didn't really look at your butt. To be honest, the British princess slept with me before and insisted on giving me an island, but I refused. As for you, after all, you are the first woman I have slept with since I came back, so I won't ask you for a reward. You, what did you say? Asking me for a reward. Weiyang felt that the man in front of him was crazy. British princess. Are you dreaming and haven't been awakened by the urine yet? You know, how many men in Chenju covered my body. You got the advantage and you're still acting cute. You still want to look at my butt. I've seen gangsters, but I've never seen such a gangster who talks nonsense seriously. Get lost. Weiyang completely disregarded her image, grabbed the pillow that protected her body and threw it at Liu Lang, but was caught by Liu Lang again. Woman, it's your honor to let me see your ass. As he spoke, Liu Lang walked towards the bed again. You, what do you want to do? Weiyang thought Liu Lang was going to be an animal again. That kind of madness made Weiyang both expectant and scared. Bang! Suddenly, a knock on the door sounded. Don't move. Put your hands behind your head. Anti-pornography. Fierce shouts rang out. Weiyang was stunned. She quickly grabbed the bed sheet to wrap her body and buried her head deeply. Raise your head. A familiar voice sounded. Hearing this voice, Weiyang felt stiff all over. But under the urging of the other party, Weiyang had to raise her head. In front of her stood a handsome police officer in his 30s. Brother, I'm not. When he saw the male police officer, Weiyang had the urge to find a hole in the ground to crawl into. Weiyang. Yifeng-chun obviously didn't expect that the anti-pornography campaign would sweep his own sister. Just as he was about to ask a few questions, he heard the sound of washing in the toilet. Yifeng-chun immediately rushed to the bathroom door and shouted loudly, "Come out." Not long after, Liu Lang, dressed neatly, walked out of the bathroom. He still had a towel in his hand, wiping his hair while muttering, "What are you doing? I just want to see my butt, why are you making such a fuss?" Weiyang was stunned. Could this guy teleport? Just now he wanted to see his butt, but after the police kicked the door, he actually went into the bathroom, not only washed his hair, but also put on his clothes. The most important thing is that the other party didn't seem to be panicked at all because of being caught. Why are you so fast? Weiyang asked subconsciously. Liu Lang was immediately upset. Beauty, how can you talk nonsense in front of the police officer? Don't say a man is fast, that's an insult to men. Weiyang thought for a while before she understood. This guy was actually driving. I mean, why did you suddenly go to the bathroom? Seeing that Yi Fengchun looked unhappy, Weiyang quickly corrected him. Oh, you're talking about this. Liu Lang breathed a sigh of relief. There's no way, if you're pointed at by a gun every day, you'll do anything fast. After saying that, he seemed to feel that his words were ambiguous, looked at Weiyang ambiguously, and added, of course, some things are excluded. Handle him and take him away. Seeing that Liu Lang actually flirted with his sister in front of him, Yi Fengchun was furious. He ordered someone to take Liu Lang away directly, and then retreated, letting Weiyang put on his clothes first. After Weiyang put on his clothes, he saw that Weiyang's walking was a little wrong, and even his legs were shaking. Yi Fengchun was so angry that his teeth were almost broken. He decided to teach the guy who had tortured his sister like this a lesson. But in order not to embarrass Weiyang, Yi Fengchun pretended that he had seen nothing and took Weiyang back to the police station without saying anything. You stay here. After locking Liu Lang in the interrogation room, Yi Fengchun glared at Liu Lang fiercely, turned around and walked out of the interrogation room, closing the door forcefully. Weiyang, do you know what you are doing? After Yi Fengchun took Weiyang to a separate office, he said angrily, today is the day you and Mr. Zhao got engaged, and you actually checked into a room with another man. Chapter 2, Sister Su Deji. I was just a little upset and went to the bar for a drink. I didn't expect things to end up like this. At this moment, Weiyang had calmed down, squeezing her trembling thigh, and said, Brother, I've told you before if I have to marry, I absolutely want to give my first time to Jiaoyang. Recalling what happened last night, an odd thought popped into her head, there are only tired oxen, not plowed fields. Ridiculous. Nonsense. Yi Fengchun raised his hand to slap Weiyang but hesitated, and finally, with a helpless sigh, said, Weiyang, this matter must not reach young Master Zhao. I'll find a way to keep that man locked up here for 24 hours. After your engagement with Jiaoyang, I'll make sure he keeps quiet about last night. Weiyang stared at Yi Fengchun, knowing that he wouldn't let Liu Lang go. After a long pause, she sighed and said, Brother, last night's incident has nothing to do with that man. Let him go. Let him go. Impossible. Yi Fengchun gritted his teeth, look at what he did to you. He didn't finish the sentence. Feeling awkward, he turned around and entered the changing room. After putting on a new suit, he grabbed Weiyang and said, let us go to the hotel where your engagement ceremony will take place. At that moment, a police officer ran over. Fengchun, the guy we just arrested is missing. What are you talking about? If he can get away, I'll call him father. Yi Fengchun, furious, thought his colleague was joking. The interrogation room was fully enclosed, and Liu Lang had been locked to a special chair. There was no way he could escape. He really escaped. The colleague's eyes were filled with disbelief. Don't believe me? Go see for yourself. When they reached the interrogation room, seeing the unlocked handcuffs and the open door, Yi Fengchun slapped himself across the face. When did my mouth become so unlucky? Damn it. Why are you standing there? Hurry and find him. Get the surveillance footage, and send it to me later. Yi Fengchun pulled Weiyang and ran out in a hurry. Meanwhile, his doubts and resentment toward Liu Lang grew stronger. How could that guy possibly escape from such a secure place? This is outrageous. Liu Lang, on the other hand, had no idea that his trip to the police station had inexplicably earned him a new title, son. After leaving the police station, Liu Lang took a taxi straight to a marriage agency. Looking up at the agency's name, Red Romance, memories flooded his mind. Don't worry. When you grow up, finding a wife will be my responsibility. Although mom and dad left us, I'm here. I won't let you suffer. You go serve in the army. When you come back, I'll open a marriage agency, make all the beautiful women my friends, and let you choose one to marry. Looking at the young woman in a cheongsam in the agency, Liu Lang's eyes turned slightly red. Sudeji. That was her name. Sudeji was as beautiful as her name, with an alluring figure. Liu Lang remembered when he was just 3 or 4 years old. One day, his parents brought Sudeji, who was 2 years older than him, in front of him and told him that Sudeji would live with them from now on as his older sister. Since then, Liu Lang had a sister who spoiled him to the sky. But at the same time, Sudeji's shadow haunted him for many years. One memory that Liu Lang couldn't forget was when he was a child and often wet the bed at night. Sudeji, to make him sleep more comfortably, secretly tied his little brother while he was asleep. That night, Liu Lang didn't wet the bed, but when he woke up, he was so terrified by the memory that he avoided Sudeji for a long time. Later, when Liu Lang discovered that Sudeji was different from him, he tried to cut it off with a knife, saying that it wouldn't need to be tied up anymore. Sudeji had to comfort him, explaining that it was actually useful. When Liu Lang asked what it was for, Sudeji thought for a long time and then pointed to the toilet 2 meters away and said, "For example, you can aim and pee further." From then on, Liu Lang seemed to have discovered a new world. He'd drag Sudeji to compete and see who could pee farther and more accurately. At around the age of 8, Liu Lang still challenged Sudeji but was caught by his parents and given a beating. That's when Liu Lang realized that his sister had grown up. And so had he. But good times didn't last long. 10 years ago, his parents suddenly disappeared, vanishing without a trace. Suddenly, Liu Lang and Sudeji became orphans. After that, the two siblings relied on each other. 7 years ago, Liu Lang decided to join the army, a decision that kept him away for 4 years. Later, Liu Lang was imprisoned for a mistake. But when he arrived at the prison, he learned that all the prisoners were dangerous criminals. The prison was located on a remote island and had an imposing name, Atlantis. He stayed there for 3 years. In prison, Liu Lang met a strange old man. Liu Lang didn't know the old man's name, but he seemed to know everything: astronomy, geography, medical traditions, and often shared his knowledge with Liu Lang. Unconsciously, Liu Lang and the old man became both teacher and friend. 7 days ago, the old man suddenly fell gravely ill. Before he died, he handed Liu Lang a jade ring and told him that he would become the emperor of men. That's when Liu Lang realized who the old man really was. He had been a famous underground king known as the Emperor of Men in the martial world. The old man had already passed down everything to Liu Lang, making him even more skilled. With Liu Lang's abilities, ruling the underground world would be easy. The old man also urged Liu Lang to take care of his women when he returned to the city, Liu Lang's master wife. Years ago, the old man had 3 beloved women, each of whom bore him a daughter. After the daughters were born, the old man had a special mark tattooed on their right buttocks. Before dying, the old man had tightly grasped Liu Lang's hand, insisting that Liu Lang must marry all 3 of his daughters. Liu Lang had wanted to refuse, but the old man didn't give him the chance. Before he could speak, the old man passed away. The era of the great hero had ended. The day after the old man's death, Liu Lang left prison. With a bitter smile, Liu Lang thought of the old man's final wish. To fulfill that wish, Liu Lang had to traverse the city, searching for women with the mark on their buttocks. Sister with complicated feelings, Liu Lang stood before Sudeji and finally spoke the word he hadn't said in years. Sudeji froze. She raised her head, her eyes wide in shock. After a moment, she threw her phone aside and jumped into Liu Lang's arms. "You're back! I missed you so much. Why didn't you tell me when you returned? You brat! When you went to the army, I thought you were dead." Tears suddenly poured from Sudeji's eyes as her voice choked. It had been 7 years since they last saw each other. Sudeji had matured even more, hanging onto Liu Lang like a koala. Her ample chest pressed against Liu Lang's face, almost suffocating him. Chapter 3, My Best Friend is Weiyang. Liu Lang finally managed to pull his head out and catch his breath, then pushed Sudeji off of him. "Sis, we're not kids anymore. What are you doing?" Sudeji smiled brightly. "You little brat, now you're shy. Hee, how many times have I seen your body since we were kids?" Sudeji teased with a laugh. "HMPH, is it that after 7 years, you found someone else and don't want your sister anymore?" Sudeji said, a playful smirk on her lips. "No way," Liu Lang said solemnly. "No matter how many women are out there, They'll never compare to even one of your fingers, sis. Su Deji poked Liu Lang's forehead. You little brat, didn't he think you'd learn to talk smooth too? Seemingly thinking of something, Su Deji clapped her forehead. Liu Lang, you're just in time. Come with me to a wedding banquet. I was going to introduce her to you, but you arrived too late. What a shame. Without waiting for Liu Lang to respond, she pulled him into the changing room and immediately began to undress him. The changing room was lined with 2 full rows of clothing, both men's and women's, which the matchmaking agency kept on hand for emergency use during blind dates. Sis, what are you doing? Liu Lang was startled as Su Deji eagerly started taking off his clothes. To attend my best friend's engagement banquet, Su Deji replied, undeterred. She swiftly removed his jacket. We don't have much time, change into a suit. Any talk, we'll do it on the way. Seeing that Su Deji seemed to want to help him change his underwear, Liu Lang quickly pushed her out, causing her to laugh mischievously. Once Liu Lang was dressed in a suit, Su Deji looked him over, admiring his transformation. Brat, you were so thin and weak before you joined the army. Who would have thought you'd turn into such a handsome man in the blink of an eye? Hee, my friends will definitely drool when they see this. Su Deji grabbed Liu Lang's hand, leading him out toward a red Maserati parked outside. Judging by her manner, she seemed to be doing quite well. On their way there, in response to Su Deji's probing questions, Liu Lang briefly shared his experiences over the years. However, he didn't mention anything about Long Weiyang or his position as the heir to the Emperor of Humanity. From Su Deji, Liu Lang also learned who was getting engaged. It was Weiyang, the so-called most beautiful CEO in Tianzhu, and the owner of Weiyang Group. Su Deji also mentioned that Weiyang was one of her few true close friends. When Su Deji spoke about Weiyang, she sighed. Actually, Weiyang doesn't like Zhao Yang at all. She just had no choice. It was the same old story, another victim of power and profit. According to Su Deji, Weiyang had a brother, but her brother wasn't good at business and eventually entered law enforcement, becoming a police officer. Weiyang, relying on herself, had built Weiyang Group in just 5 years, focusing on cosmetics R&D and sales. However, a recent product problem caused a shortage of funds for the company. If the gap wasn't filled, Weiyang Group would face bankruptcy. With no other options, Weiyang had to accept Zhao Yang's pursuit. Zhao Yang promised to provide 3 billion in funds after their engagement to fill the gap. After arriving at their hotel and parking, Su Deji eagerly dragged Liu Lang inside. Liu Lang, I'll introduce you to my best friend. I've mentioned you to her countless times. She's quite interested in you. Liu Lang didn't think much of it, but when he looked up, he spotted a familiar figure. How is he here? Liu Lang didn't expect to run into the officer who had been investigating him. The officer was dressed in a suit, clearly attending the engagement banquet. Since he had sneaked away, Liu Lang feared that if the officer spotted him, it would cause trouble. Sis, you go ahead. I suddenly feel unwell. I'll go to the restroom first. Before Su Deji could reply, Liu Lang ran off. Su Deji sighed and went onto the makeup room by herself. Su Deji, you're finally here. Weiyang, who was getting her makeup done, hurriedly pulled Su Deji to sit down when she saw her. Su Deji looked at Weiyang, feeling that something was different about her today. Weiyang, you seem more feminine today. What's going on? Weiyang blushed, then shooed everyone else out of the room. Once they were alone, she began to explain what had happened the night before. What? You really did that? Su Deji covered her mouth in disbelief. Weiyang sighed. Although that man seems less wealthy than Zhao Yang and kind of careless, I just feel like he's different from the others. After returning, Weiyang couldn't shake the feeling that Liu Lang was unlike any other man. Especially after seeing the footage of Liu Lang quietly leaving the interrogation room without anyone noticing. She was stunned when she saw him slip off the handcuffs with a simple shake, and even more so when she realized he had opened the lock with just a strand of hair. The skill was simply unbelievable. Weiyang, you didn't fall for that man, did you? Su Deji asked teasingly. Weiyang blushed. How could I? I don't even know his name. How could I like him? That's true, Su Deji said, dropping the subject. Then, suddenly, she smiled. My little brother is back. Really? Yi Weiyang's eyes lit up with excitement. I have to meet him. That little brat said he was going to the bathroom, so I'll go drag him back, Sudeji said as she stood up to find Liu Lang. Not long after Sudeji left, Liu Lang saw Yi Fengchun approaching him. It looked like the officer had noticed him. Liu Lang realized that if Yi Fengchun caught up to him, it would only lead to more trouble. He quickly took out his phone, fiddled with it, and with a beep, unlocked the hotel room door easily. Such a low-level security system, Liu Lang muttered to himself, slipping inside. He was right to be cautious. Just as he hid in the room, Yi Fengchun turned the corner, but seeing that Liu Lang was gone, he reluctantly left. Inside the room, Liu Lang heard footsteps fade away, and just as he was about to leave, he heard the sound of the door opening again. Damn, could the person who lives here be coming back? Liu Lang quickly dove into the wardrobe to hide. A few moments later, a man and a woman entered the room. Dear, you're about to be engaged, do you think Yi Weiyang will be furious if she finds out about us? It was a woman's voice. Who cares, the man said breathlessly. I'm only in it for the deal with her. The woman moaned, you won't forget me after the engagement, right? Don't worry, after the engagement, I'll find a way to get Weiyang Group. Once I get the company, I'll throw Yi Weiyang out, and we can get married openly. As they spoke, they couldn't wait to get tangled up in each other. Liu Lang couldn't believe his luck. He was getting a free show, and to top it off, the man was Yi Weiyang's fiancé. This was too juicy. Remembering that Yi Weiyang was Sudeji's best friend, Liu Lang felt a little embarrassed, but then he pulled out his phone, turned on the recording function, and began recording while watching. Good things should be shared. It only took about 3 minutes. In the woman's resentful gaze, the man groaned, zipped up his pants, grabbed some tissue, and threw it to the woman. You clean yourself up. I've got to get to the engagement party. Chapter 4 Engagement Party. Humph, if it weren't for your wealth, I wouldn't serve you for such a short period of time. After the man left, the woman said something dirty and went into the bathroom. If you don't leave now, when will you leave? Not long after Liu Lang tiptoed out of the guest room, he happened to run into Sudeji, who was looking for him. You little brat, why are you here just to use the restroom? Sudeji thought Liu Lang was lost and didn't ask any more questions. She walked up to him, grabbed his hand and left. Hurry and follow me. Sister, wait a minute, I'll show you something. Liu Lang brought the phone to Sudeji and opened the video he had just recorded. After just a glance, Sudeji snatched the phone away, turned it off, looked around, and said in a low voice, Stinky boy, why are you showing me this thing in broad daylight? If you want to see it, I still have several hundred GB on my computer. Liu Lang was very upset, look at who the actor is in it. Seeing Liu Lang's serious expression, Sudeji asked suspiciously, why? Have you not been in the army these years and have been filming? Liu Lang really wanted to dig open Sudeji's head to see what his sister's brain looked like. How come my brain circuits are different from others since I was a child? Sister, the man inside is your best friend's fiancé. Liu Lang had no choice but to tell the truth. Sudeji looked at Liu Lang in confusion, then opened her phone like a thief. Before clicking to play the video, she skillfully turned off the sound. Great, I didn't expect Weiyang to be such a bastard. After seeing the person in the video clearly, Sudeji was filled with righteous indignation and quickly took Liu Lang to the dressing room. Weiyang, let me show you something. Sudeji placed the video in front of Yi Weiyang. Yi Weiyang stared straight at Liu Lang, who was following behind Sudeji, and didn't pay any attention to the phone at all. Hey, Weiyang, please take a look at this video. Sudeji was almost dizzy with anger and did not notice anything unusual about Yi Weiyang. As if afraid that Yi Weiyang might misunderstand, she quickly added, by the way, take a close look at the man's face. Yi Weiyang came back to her senses and looked at the video. She was immediately angry and anxious. Where did this video come from? Look, my brother recorded it accidentally. Sudeji pointed at Liu Lang behind her. Liu Lang turned and was about to leave. Isn't this too much of a coincidence? The woman I just slept with last night turned out to be my sister's best friend. If Sudeji knew about this, there would definitely be another round of investigation. Where did you go? Seeing Liu Lang was about to leave, Sudeji grabbed Liu Lang and said, come here, I'll introduce you to my best friend, Yi Weiyang. Seeing that he couldn't escape, Liu Lang had no choice but to bite the bullet and waved at Yi Weiyang. Yi Weiyang had recognized Liu Lang a long time ago. Seeing that Liu Lang pretended not to know her, she thought of the content in the video and said sarcastically, "Oh, I didn't expect that we would meet again so soon." Yi Weiyang came to Liu Lang with big strides, raised her chin, and said provocatively, "Don't you want to see my butt? I can give you a chance now, do you dare?" "Woman, the opportunity was not given by you, but I fought for it." Liu Lang took a step forward, bent down slightly, and looked down at Yi Weiyang. Liu Lang is a big guy who is 1.85 meters tall, while Yi Weiyang is only 1.7 meters tall. Yi Weiyang had never expected that Liu Lang would be so bold in front of Su Deji that he even forgot to dodge. The tips of their noses almost touched. Yi Weiyang was a little flustered. "What's going on?" Su Deji grabbed Liu Lang's ear and asked, "Do you know each other?" "It hurts, sister, it hurts, let me go." Liu Lang's domineering attitude just now quickly faded away. Yi Weiyang blushed and finally reacted. She grabbed Liu Lang's hand and said, "Come with me if you can." "Hey, what are you doing? I'm still standing here." Seeing Yi Weiyang pulling Liu Lang out, Su Deji couldn't help but scream in panic. It was actually ignored. Engagement scene. The place was bustling with people. Zhao Yang, looking gentle and refined in a suit and tie, was waiting on the stage. Seeing Yi Weiyang coming over, Zhao Yang immediately put on a smile. Just as he was about to greet Yi Weiyang, he discovered that Yi Weiyang was actually holding a man's hand. "Weiyang, who is he?" A hint of gloom flashed across Zhao Yang's eyes, but he still asked with a smile. "Par." Yi Weiyang slapped Zhao Yang in the face and threw the phone at him at the same time. "Mr. Zhao, don't call me Weiyang. It makes me sick. I already have a boyfriend. From now on, we have nothing to do with each other." The cell phone hit Zhao Yang's face, then fell to the ground and broke into several pieces. The corner of Zhao Yang's mouth twitched in pain and a blood mark appeared on his forehead. There was an uproar at the scene. The relatives and friends below were whispering and talking about it. After saying that, Yi Weiyang pulled Liu Lang and turned away, not giving Zhao Yang any chance to explain. Zhao Yang's face turned pale, he stared at Liu Lang coldly, and kicked Liu Lang in the back of the head. "You bastard, who do you think you are?" In his opinion, it must be this man who ruined his good deeds and made him embarrassed in front of his relatives and friends. "Xiao Lang, be careful." Su Deji, who had just caught up with Zhao Yang, screamed in panic when she saw that Zhao Yang was so cruel. You know, Zhao Yang is a black belt in Taekwondo. If this kick had hit him hard, he would have had a concussion at best, and might have been killed on the spot at worst. Just as the foot was about to kick Liu Lang, it seemed as if Liu Lang had eyes behind him. He gently tilted his head, stretched out his hand, and punched Zhao Yang on the calf. Accompanied by a scream, Zhao Yang took several steps back, a layer of cold sweat appearing on his forehead. Yi Fengchun in the audience widened his eyes with a look of disbelief. As a professional, Yi Fengchun knew that it was impossible for him to dodge Zhao Yang's kick in this situation. Who on earth is this guy? He naturally recognized Liu Lang, but he didn't expect that he would appear here and have such good skills. Half an hour later. Yi family villa. Inside the boudoir. Liu Lang stood with his hands hanging down. Su Deji hugged her hands across her chest, just enough to hold up the pair of melons. That action was extremely tempting. Yi Weiyang sat on the bed, frowning, saying nothing. Su Deji's eyes kept moving between Yi Weiyang and Liu Lang. Seeing that the two had no intention of explaining, Su Deji finally couldn't hold it in any longer and pointed at Liu Lang. "Tell me, what's going on?" Liu Lang forced a smile. "Sister, my phone was broken. I just bought it and spent 7,800 yuan. I want her to pay for it." "Money, money, money, you want money, right?" Yi Weiyang was furious. "I was in such a mess and this bastard actually wanted me to pay for the cell phone." Yi Weiyang directly opened the drawer of the bedside table. "Here's 10,000 yuan, more than enough to compensate for your phone. Now that you've got the money, get out of here." Yi Weiyang was upset and took out a wad of money from the drawer and threw it to Liu Lang. Liu Lang took the money, shook it next to his ears, and casually pulled out a stack and put it on the bedside table. "I just want the money for my cell phone. As for the 2002, I'll return it to you for my sister's sake." After putting the remaining money into his pocket, Liu Lang stared at Yi Weiyang. "Now, can I see your butt? You want to see it, right?" Okay, I'll let you see it. Without waiting for Sudeji to understand what was going on, Weiyang actually took off his pants and turned his back to Liu Lang. Chapter 5. He is the beast. Round, smooth and white. The best. However, there are no markings. Liu Lang was slightly disappointed. Unfortunately, it's not you. Liu Lang shook his head and grinned at Sudeji. Sister, I'll go back to the matchmaking agency and wait for you. Turn around and walk away. Hey, what's going on? Are you guys treating me like air? Seeing Weiyang so excited, Sudeji quickly pulled up Weiyang's pants and stamped her feet anxiously. What's going on? Tell me. He is the beast from last night. Weiyang burst into tears of grievance. Sudeji's face was dull. After a moment, there was a clap of hands. Very good. At this moment, Liu Lang just opened the door. Weiyang's family members were standing outside, watching with eager eyes. When they suddenly heard Sudeji's words, everyone outside looked unhappy. What kind of bestie is this? Such an embarrassing thing happened at the engagement scene, and yet you still say it's great. Stop right there. Yifeng-chun immediately shouted at Liu Lang when he saw him about to leave. Only a fool would stand still. Liu Lang didn't listen at all. He ran out of the villa at a fast speed. When Yifeng-chun chased out of the villa, where was Liu Lang's shadow? Just wait, don't let me run into you again. Yifeng-chun was so angry that his teeth were itching. When he returned to Weiyang's room, he saw his mother was there too. Weiyang took the remaining money on the bedside table, with a look of surprise in his eyes. Just now, she counted the remaining money and found that there was only 2,200 yuan left. However, Liu Lang clearly did not point it out, but he knew the exact number just by a glance. This technique is not something that ordinary people can do. Soon, Yifeng-chun also understood the reason. This is ridiculous. I originally thought Zhao Yang was a good match for you, but I didn't expect him to be a dishonest bastard with a third leg. Yifeng-chun clenched his fist and roared, I really should smash his head. What were you doing so far? Sudeji said angrily, if it weren't for my brother, Weiyang would probably have been taken advantage of by Zhao Yang by now. Your brother? Yifeng-chun liked Sudeji in the first place, and when he saw Sudeji, he immediately put on a lapdog smile. What do you mean, our brother? He's my brother, not our brother. Don't try to get close to him. Sudeji corrected. Hey, same. Yifeng-chun smiled widely, and asked in confusion, didn't our brother join the army? What does this have to do with him? Deji's brother is the guy just now. Weiyang said weakly. Feng-chun, you go out first. I'll talk to Weiyang and Deji. Yi's mother spoke. Yi's mother's name is Yi Qingcheng. Although she is nearly 50 years old, she still has charm and fair skin. Apart from being a little older, she looks almost like Yi Weiyang. Although she was dressed simply and held a rosary in her hand, she exuded an indescribable temperament. In Tianzhu, the mother and daughter of the Yi family are known as the Queen of Mother and Daughter. Back then, Yi Qingcheng brought Yi Weiyang and Yifeng-chun to Tianzhu to settle down, and they lived there for more than 10 years. No one knows where they came from, and who Yi Weiyang's father is. Over the years, many people have been eyeing the mother and daughter of the Yi family. However, no one has ever succeeded. However, ever since Yi Weiyang and his sister became adults, Yi Qingcheng almost stopped interfering in their affairs. When Yi Weiyang decided to get engaged to Zhao Yang, Yi Qingcheng just asked, have you thought it through? Yi Weiyang nodded. Yi Qingcheng said no more. Weiyang, now that Deji's brother is involved, you should marry him. Yi Qingcheng said calmly, you can slowly cultivate your feelings. At least this way, Zhao Yan will give up. Yes. Sudeji immediately perked up and stared at Yi Weiyang with a gossipy look on her face. Weiyang, I know what my brother is like. When he was 7 years old, he once peed and even scared the neighbor's aunt. Deji, let's get down to business. Yi Qingcheng interrupted Deji's description and said, Deji, go back and tell your brother about this. I will guarantee to complete the task. Sudeji agreed readily. After Liu Lang left the Yi family villa, he went to buy a mobile phone first. As he walked towards the matchmaking agency, his brows furrowed. He turned and walked to a small alley next to him. Come out. After a moment, a slender figure in tights walked out. The other person has wheat-colored skin, wears sunglasses, and has a pair of long legs that any man cannot resist. But Liu Lang simply ignored it. Did that old guy send you here? Liu Lang's eyes were cold. I have said everything I should have said when I left Atlantis. What else does he want to do? Old thing. Hearing these 3 words, the woman couldn't help but shudder. The old thing Liu Lang mentioned is a person who is second only to one person and above everyone else in the entire Chinese nation. The other party is in charge of China's most advanced Dragon Fang troops. Normally, everyone would be respectful when seeing him, right? In this whole world, I'm afraid Liu Lang is the only one who dares to call that person like that. The woman didn't dare to make Liu Lang angry, and hurriedly said in fear and trepidation, Death God, you are the strongest death god of our Longyear. The boss wants me to ask you, when will you return to Longyear? Rose, I made a deal with the old man back then. Now the human emperor is dead. I saw him breathe his last with my own eyes, so the deal is complete. I will not go back to Longyear. Liu Lang said coldly. But it's nothing, go back and tell the old man that I just want to do what I want to do now, and there's no need to mention what happened in the past. After Liu Lang finished speaking, he no longer paid attention to Rose and left. Rose looked at Liu Lang's back, but finally didn't dare to chase him out. She was surprised to find that her back was wet with cold sweat. The oppressive feeling of death is too strong. After a long time, Rose took out her cell phone and made a call. Boss, Death still doesn't want to go back. There was silence on the other end of the phone for a while, and then he let out a long sigh. Forget it, since he doesn't want to come back, let him go. As for you, you should stay in Chengdu for the time being. If he needs anything, you should do everything in your power to help. After all, we Longyear owe him. Liu Lang did not take a taxi, but walked to the matchmaking agency. At the same time, my mind was filled with distant memories. Back then, Liu Lang entered Longyear with an absolutely outstanding record, and in just 2 years he became the most terrifying god of death in Longyear. This code name made the enemy terrified. During a mission, due to a command error, all the members of the death squad except Liu Lang were killed. Liu Lang fell off a cliff and his life hung by a thread. After being rescued, Liu Lang, regardless of his own body not yet recovered and the obstruction of his superiors, found the mercenaries who had killed the god of death squad and killed all the more than 200 mercenaries in the entire group by himself. This battle pushed Liu Lang's name as the god of death to the pinnacle. At the same time, he also made a big mistake. Liu Lang was sent to Atlantis, and the boss of Longyear took the opportunity to ask him to monitor someone. That person is the human emperor. Chapter 6, Tools for Making Money. At the beginning, Liu Lang didn't know the identity of the human emperor. It was not until he left Atlantis that Liu Lang realized how terrifying the human emperor was. Those vicious and evil people in Atlantis respect the human emperor as they respect ghosts and gods. Once the human emperor returns to the city, the entire martial arts world will be plunged into bloodshed. But in the process of interacting with the human emperor, Liu Lang treated the human emperor as his elder. An elder who teaches his skills. Therefore, when facing the human emperor, Liu Lang was more of a companion rather than a monitor. Unknowingly, everyone in the prison regarded Liu Lang as the new generation of human emperor. Nowadays, there is no human emperor anymore. Liu Lang stroked the ring on his thumb and muttered to himself. Liu Lang didn't want to get involved in the affairs of the underground world. He was tired of fighting and killing and just wanted to return to live a simple life with girls under the moonlight. Therefore, Liu Lang never thought of using the jade ring to rule the underworld and become the emperor. However, he also understood that once he was involved in some things, he would have no control over himself. Mom, I don't agree. Hearing that Weiyang was going to marry Liu Lang, Yi Fengchun was the first to object. You don't know how hateful that guy is. When I blocked them in the hotel, Weiyang didn't even dare to walk. Yi Qingcheng looked at Yi Fengchun strangely and said, Son, are you still a virgin? Yi Fengchun blushed. Mom, why are you saying this? I want to save my first time for Deji. Hey, Fengchun, you've been fighting pornography every day and you haven't learned anything. It's really a waste of your career. Yi Qingcheng sighed deeply as if she had experienced it, her eyes lost in memories. Like your dad, he kept me bedridden for 3 days back then. At this point, Yi Qingcheng seemed to realize that she couldn't be too explicit in front of Yi Fengchun, so she quickly changed the subject and said, Fengchun, go check on that Liu Lang. Mom, is my dad a bastard? Yi Fengchun had asked Yi Qingcheng many times about his father since he was a child, but Yi Qingcheng never said anything. However, every time he saw Yi Qingcheng mention his father, he looked intoxicated. Could it be that my mother is a masochist? After being beaten so badly that he couldn't get out of bed for 3 days, he still missed that bastard dad. Yeah, your dad is indeed a bastard, and is a huge bastard. Yi Qingcheng waved her hand. Go check it out, I'll wait for your news. Return to the police station. Yi Fengchun couldn't wait to log into the police system to look for Liu Lang's information. 4 years in the army and 3 years in jail. Upon seeing these materials, Yi Fengchun was so angry that he slammed his fist on the table. How ridiculous. This guy has actually been to jail. She took out her cell phone and called Yi Qingcheng. Mom, that bastard has been in jail. We must not let him marry Weiyang. Jail? Yi Qingcheng was obviously not expecting this. Where did you go to jail? No. Yi Qingcheng was more and more puzzled. How is it possible? Really? I'm also surprised that his profile only says he's been in prison, and nothing else. It even only says he's been in the military, but not where he served. But none of that matters. Having been in prison means he's definitely not a good person. I understand. Yi Qingcheng hung up the phone, thought about it, and made another call. A deep voice came from the other end of the phone. Who? I. Yes, is it the second madam? The person on the other end of the phone was obviously startled when he heard Yi Qingcheng's voice. At the same time, there was the sound of a water cup falling. Second madam, you are still alive. That's great. Where are you? I will come to pick you up now. Yi Qingcheng said expressionlessly, you don't need to care where I am. Aren't you known as the best spy around him? Help me check someone. The other party was stunned and said hurriedly, Second madam, please speak. Liu Lang. Yi Qingcheng briefly explained Liu Lang's information. Second madam, please wait for me for 5 minutes. 5 minutes later. The other party called back and asked seriously, Second madam, does this Liu Lang have a grudge against you? Yi Qingcheng did not answer, but asked, have you found out? I found out. Explain. Second madam, I dare not say. The other party said bitterly. Yi Qingcheng's pupils shrank. Dare not say. The meaning of these 3 words is terrifying when you think about it carefully. You have to know that the other party now works for a special department, and there are only a handful of people in the world that he is afraid of. The other party actually said he didn't dare to say it. Is his identity very special? Yi Qingcheng asked tentatively. The other party said in a deep voice, Second madam, I can only say that you must not become an enemy of him. I understand. Yi Qingcheng's eyes slowly curved into crescents. It seems that my daughter is lucky. Don't tell anyone that I'm still alive, otherwise, you will die. After Yi Qingcheng said this, he hung up the phone. Red Romance Dating Agency. Sis, are you kidding me? When Liu Lang heard Su Deji ask him to marry Yi Weiyang, his first reaction was that Su Deji was playing a trick on him. Su Deji glared at him, pinched her waist and said, You little bastard, who is kidding you? I know that Weiyang Group may be experiencing some difficulties now, but that is only temporary. Think about it, Yi Weiyang is not only beautiful, but also a big CEO. Even if Weiyang Group goes bankrupt, she will be able to get tens of millions, right? Once you get married, even if Weiyang Group doesn't have a share for you, at least you won't have to worry about money in your life, right? The most important thing is, if she goes bankrupt and gets tens of millions, according to the marriage law, wouldn't you be able to get half of it? As she spoke, Su Deji's eyes were filled with longing. She counted on her fingers and said, As far as I know, the current market value of Weiyang Group is about 1 billion. If you marry her, you can get 500 million, right? Okay, let's say we go bankrupt, but we can still sell it for 100 million, right? Well, you can give us half of it, and we'll get 50 million. My God, I only spent 8 million to open this matchmaking agency, and you suddenly have 50 million. When the time comes, you give me this money, and I'll open a bigger matchmaking agency and introduce you to more good girlfriends. Then you can flirt with more girls. With your looks, I'll soon become a rich woman. As Liu Lang listened, his face turned green. Sister, I can hear your calculations even if I cover my ears. Liu Lang held Su Deji's face with both hands and asked seriously, Sister, are you sure I am your brother, not your tool to make money? Sudeji pushed Liu Lang's hand away and said, "Nonsense, of course you are my brother." Before Liu Lang could feel relieved, Sudeji added, "But you are so handsome, wouldn't it be a loss if you don't make money for me?" "I won't do it." Liu Lang said angrily, "Sister, I haven't seen you for so many years. I didn't expect you to treat me like this." "Good brother, as long as you agree, I will make you your favorite braised beef noodles, okay?" Sudeji hugged Liu Lang's arm and rubbed the peaks of her chest, making Liu Lang feel hot in his heart. "Give me something to eat." Liu Lang tilted his head and suddenly said righteously, "You are my sister, how can you do this?" "Humph, who do you think I am?" Chapter 7 Heirloom. Sudeji was stunned. Seeing Liu Lang's pretentious appearance, she immediately understood what he meant. She stepped forward and grabbed Liu Lang's ear. "You little bastard, I haven't seen you for so many years, and you dare to drive with me, and even use such an old joke. Have you forgotten the time when I stripped you naked and stood you in the snow while you peeped at the widow next door taking a bath?" "Sister, I'm just kidding, hee, I'm just kidding." Liu Lang shouted, quickly stepped back, and said with a smile, "Sister, I promise, isn't it enough for me to promise you?" While rubbing his ear, which actually didn't hurt, Liu Lang felt a rare sense of peace in his heart. If it were someone else, how could they twist their ears so easily? However, Liu Lang was willing to have his ears twisted by Sudeji. Seeing that she had easily controlled Liu Lang, Sudeji patted Liu Lang on the shoulder and said proudly, "Stinky boy, as long as you listen to my arrangements, I will support you in the future." Liu Lang curled his lips. "Yes, as long as I work hard, you will definitely live the life of a rich woman, right?" "Har har, brat, you are quite conscious." Sudeji took out her cell phone and called Weiyang. The smile on her face disappeared instantly. She said in embarrassment, "Weiyang, I finally convinced my brother, but he said that if he wants to get married, he must get 1 million first. Alas, I can't do anything about it." Liu Lang stroked his forehead. "My sister is just like her name, a fairy. It would have been fine if she had just cheated herself when she was a child, but now she has started to cheat her best friend. Moreover, with the speed of face changing, it would be a shame not to perform Sichuan opera." Too lazy to pay any more attention to Sudeji, Liu Lang turned around and walked to their computer, opened the dating website, and started filling out his information. Name, Liu Lang. Gender, male. Hobbies, picking up girls. Specialties, specialties. Mate selection criteria, beauty, beauty, and beauty. P.S. It would be best if there is a 5-petal flower mark on the buttocks. After knocking, leave your contact information and it will be directly placed on the homepage of the dating website. During this time, Sudeji also finished her call. The face that had brought disaster to the country and the people turned into a smiling face again. Done. Sudeji seemed to see a huge pile of banknotes knocking her unconscious, and waved at Liu Lang. "Stinky boy, Weiyang agreed to my request, and will give you 1 million later, but you also need to agree to a few of her conditions." Liu Lang looked like he was ready to be slaughtered by Sudeji. "You've agreed to it anyway, right?" He, Weiyang is not stupid." Sudeji grinned and said, "But it's no loss to you. Anyway, it's nothing more than some rules and regulations. You'll just have to step up to deal with it at a critical moment. It's not a real marriage. But Weiyang has a rule. She wants you to go to her company in person to get the money. She only pays in cash, no clocking in. This woman is smarter than I thought. Be careful of fire, theft, and best friends." It is indeed a true saying. When Liu Lang saw Sudeji's unscrupulous appearance, he couldn't help but complain in his heart. Sudeji stepped forward and took Liu Lang's hand. "Come on, you finally got back, go clean up your room first, and I'll make you something to eat later." Speaking of eating, Sudeji said with some regret, "Hey, I wanted to have a good meal at the engagement banquet today, but I haven't even had a hot meal yet." "Sister, you are still as good at eating as you were back then." Liu Lang subconsciously glanced at Sudeji's chest, but it seems to be nutritious. "Brat, come on, let's go upstairs." Sudeji deliberately puffed out her chest and pulled Liu Lang upstairs. The matchmaking agency has 2 floors. The first floor is where Sudeji usually works, and the second floor is the living room. Opening the bedroom door, Sudeji pointed to the only bed inside and said, "From now on, you will sleep here." The bedroom is filled with women's things. Some underwear was still thrown on the bed. There are various styles, including lace ones. "What is that?" Liu Lang took a quick glance and found a cylindrical object on the bedside table. It seems to be still charging. Oh my god, is my sister so good at having fun? Liu Lang gave Sudeji an ambiguous look. Sudeji didn't blush or feel nervous. She went over and put away the things as if nothing had happened. She said earnestly, Xiao Lang, I've been so worried about you. Do you know how hard it is for me to run this matchmaking agency? In order to better understand the needs of those women and stinky men, I can only sacrifice myself. You play with yourself, what does it have to do with me? Liu Lang wanted to refute, but finally held back. You are the elder sister, so whatever you say goes. However, there is only one bed in this bedroom. Sister, you won't let me sleep in the same bed with you, right? Sudeji said indifferently, what's wrong? We have slept in the same bed since we were young. It's good enough that I don't dislike you for wetting the bed. Why do you dislike me? Sis, I haven't wet the bed for a long time, okay. Even though I haven't seen her for many years, my elder sister still makes fun of me about our childhood. Sister is just joking with you. Seeing Liu Lang's embarrassed look, Sudeji laughed so hard that she shook with laughter, and pulled Liu Lang to another bedroom. Seeing the display in the bedroom, Liu Lang couldn't help but feel warm in his heart. The bedroom was cleaned very cleanly and was full of Liu Lang's old things. It looked like Sudeji had been cleaning it every day since Liu Lang left. How is it, little brat? Are you satisfied here? Satisfied, sister, thank you for your hard work. Liu Lang opened his arms and gave Sudeji a big hug, saying sincerely. Then, he took out a plastic bag from his pocket and was about to put the things in the bag, but Sudeji snatched it away. What is this? Sudeji opened the plastic bag with curiosity on her face, muttering, I saw you holding this bag when you were changing clothes before. How come it's full of treasures? When the bag was opened, there were more than a dozen semicircular pendants inside. Hey, what is this? Sudeji took out the two pendants and put them together. She found that they could be put together. She couldn't help but wonder, why do I feel that this thing looks familiar? Sister, this is something an old man gave me. Liu Lang asked, why, do you like it? If you like it, I'll give you one. As he said that, he took out one of them and hung it around Sudeji's neck. Sudeji did not refuse. She touched the pendant and thought for a while. She slapped her head and said, oh, I remember now. It seems that Weiyang's mother has an identical pendant. Liu Lang was stunned, you mean Auntie has it too? According to the strange old man, these pendants were used by him to pick up girls. Every time he slept with a woman, he would take out a pendant and give it to her. He would tell her that it was a family heirloom and there was only one pair in total, and he would ask her to keep it well. This time Liu Lang came back with the intention of taking this pendant to look for his three mistresses. When Liu Lang first heard the strange old man say that, he felt that the old man was actually quite infatuated. But when he saw that these pendants were the kind that cost $10 a pair on the street, Liu Lang finally understood that this strange old man was actually a deceitful and promiscuous man when he was young. Yes, exactly the same. Sudeji affirmed, besides, I heard Weiyang mention it that time. Her mother's pendant seemed to be some kind of heirloom. Chapter 8 Auntie, is there something wrong? Heirloom you der. Liu Lang was numb. Isn't it such a coincidence? But, there was clearly no mark on Yi Weiyang's but as the strange old man described. Is this old guy fooling me? What are you daydreaming about? Hurry up and pack up. I'm going to take a shower first, and then I'll take you to a delicious meal. Sudeji turned and left. However, Liu Lang felt itching in his heart and was thinking about finding an opportunity to test Yi Qingcheng. Thump. Just as Liu Lang was lying on the bed wondering what to do next, a sound of someone falling suddenly came from the direction of the bathroom. Liu Lang jumped up and rushed to the bathroom door. Sister, what's wrong with you? No one answered. Except for the sound of rushing water. Liu Lang was anxious and pushed the bathroom door open. Sudeji was lying naked on the ground. The posture is seductive, but the lips are purple. The surface of the fair skin was covered with a thin layer of frost. Liu Lang had seen this situation before when he was 11 years old. That time, Liu Lang was terrified and thought he would never see Sudeji again. But fortunately, Sudeji survived. Liu Lang also heard some information about Sudeji from his parents. It seems that Sudeji was abandoned by her biological parents because she was born with a strange disease, and was later adopted by Liu Lang's parents. But since that time, Liu Lang never saw Sudeji fall ill again. Why did I suddenly get sick again today? Without bothering to admire Sudeji's beautiful figure, Liu Lang walked forward, picked up Sudeji, and quickly rushed into the bedroom. I'm cold, I'm so cold. After being thrown onto the bed, Sudeji murmured softly, curled up her body, shivered constantly, frowned, and looked extremely painful. Liu Lang's heart was instantly gripped. This is a cold spell. After quickly checking Sudeji's body, Liu Lang suddenly realized something. While in prison, Liu Lang learned medicine from the old man. Liu Lang quickly recognized Sudeji's illness. Cold syndrome is a congenital disease. Every time it occurs, their whole body will feel freezing cold, as if falling into an ice cellar. Moreover, the disease occurs more frequently as time goes by. With the current level of medical technology, it is not easy to cure this disease. He quickly needed several key acupoints of Sudeji. After seeing that Sudeji's pain was slightly relieved, Liu Lang hugged Sudeji tightly in his arms and warmed her body with his own. I don't know how much time passed. Sudeji's consciousness slowly recovered. You little brat, you're annoying me. A weak voice sounded. Liu Lang quickly stood up, looked down, and his cheeks suddenly turned red. It was a completely unconscious reaction. Sister, how do you feel? Liu Lang asked with concern as he helped Sudeji cover herself with the quilt. Sudeji sat up, wrapped herself in the quilt, looked at Liu Lang deeply, and tried to look indifferent. I thought I couldn't make it this time, but I didn't expect that I could make it again. Sister, has your illness been recurring frequently since I left? Liu Lang frowned. Sudeji didn't want to make Liu Lang worry, so she evaded the question by saying, I'm fine. Sister, don't worry, I will cure your illness. Liu Lang looked serious. Sudeji forced a smile. You little brat, do you think you are miracle doctor? Har har, it's okay, I'm really fine. Looking at Sudeji's reaction, Liu Lang suddenly understood why Sudeji was like a miser. She worked hard every day to save money and find a woman for herself, for she was afraid that she would suddenly be gone one day and she would no longer have to live a hard life. Sister, I can really alleviate your symptoms. Although I can't cure it completely, at least you won't feel cold in the middle of the night so often. Liu Lang said seriously. How did you know? Sudeji was surprised. Since the second year after Liu Lang went to the army, Sudeji would only occasionally feel inexplicably cold in the middle of the night. Even in the hot summer, you will still feel this way. At first, Sudeji didn't take it seriously. But in the past 2 years, this reaction has become increasingly stronger. Even recently, my whole body feels extremely cold almost every night, and it takes a long time for the feeling to slowly ease. Sudeji did seek medical treatment, but the hospital couldn't find anything. She consulted many experts, but it was of no use. Originally, Sudeji planned to keep it secret, but she didn't expect that she would completely explode while taking a bath today and even faint. Sister, wait for me, I'm going to buy a box of silver needles. Liu Lang turned around and ran out without waiting for Sudeji's consent. With Liu Lang's current medical skills, it is not difficult to relieve this kind of cold syndrome. To completely cure it, a special medicinal ingredient is needed. Tianshan snow lotus. This snow lotus, which grows in extremely cold places, can completely cure Sudeji's illness if boiled into medicine. But this kind of Tianshan snow lotus is hard to come by. Not long after, Liu Lang came back in a hurry, with a box of silver needles in his hand. After closing the door, Liu Lang took out the silver needle and said, Sister, lie down first and don't move. Brat, do you really want to give me an acupuncture? Sudeji still didn't quite believe that Liu Lang knew medicine. Sister, when have I ever lied to you? You don't think that I really went to Japan to make movies for the past 7 years, do you? Liu Lang deliberately joked in order to make Sudeji relax. Sudeji looked curious and stared into Liu Lang's eyes. Is it exciting? Liu Lang's mouth twitched. I didn't go to film. I'm just asking, why are you so excited? Sudeji pouted. That look was extremely cute. Liu Lang suddenly discovered that his sister was actually a versatile witch. Take out the silver needle. Why is it so thick? Sudeji looked up and was immediately shocked. Liu Lang explained, Sister, your illness is a bit special. Ordinary acupuncture is ineffective. Only the needle knife can cure it. The needle knife is more than twice as thick as the ordinary blade needle. Outside, Yi Qingcheng raised her hand and was about to knock on the door, but suddenly she heard someone talking in Sudeji's room and stopped. Sudeji was still a little weak, and her words gave people a feeling of pity, and even a timid expectation. Will it hurt if it's so thick? Liu Lang said confidently, Sister, don't worry, I have very good skills. But I'm afraid of pain. It's okay, it will be quick. Sister, close your eyes and believe me. R. A groan was heard. Yi Qingcheng froze in place. Her face was covered in bruises. I really want to kick the door open. I had originally been optimistic about Liu Lang and wanted to test him out, but I didn't expect that this brother and sister were actually messing around. This is simply outrageous. Humph, he is of the same character as that old guy. Sister, it's okay. How do you feel now? Not long after, Liu Lang's voice sounded again. Sudeji's voice was still a little weak, and she said softly, It's amazing, I actually feel numb all over my body. You are too strong. No. I can't stand it anymore. No matter how well managed Yi Qingcheng was, she couldn't bear it after hearing such vulgar conversation. She wants justice for her daughter. Bang! He pushed the door open. You guys. The words stopped at his lips. Liu Lang held the silver needle in his hand and looked at Yi Qingcheng with a strange expression. Auntie, is there something wrong? Chapter 9, Painted Skin Master. Yi Qingcheng was wearing a long red dress. Her proud figure has not changed with age, but has become more charming. Their fair cheeks were slightly flushed at this moment, which added a bit of flavor. Sudeji was lying on the bed. Although her key parts were covered with clothes, she still gave Yi Qingcheng a magnificent feeling of amazement. For some reason, a sense of crisis arose. Although Sudeji is Liu Lang's sister, she has no blood relationship with Liu Lang. If this continues, her daughter might be in danger. In a moment, Yi Qingcheng thought a lot in his mind. What are you doing? Trying hard to keep smiling, Yi Qingcheng asked in a calm tone. Sudeji quickly covered herself with the quilt, her cheeks flushed. Auntie, I just felt unwell, Xiaolang is treating me. I didn't expect that after not seeing you for 7 years, Xiaolang's medical skills have become so great. Really? Yi Qingcheng had also heard about Sudeji's poor health. She nodded silently, glanced at Liu Lang and said, I heard from Weiyang that Liu Lang agreed to be with Weiyang. After all, I am Weiyang's mother. I want to talk to Liu Lang before he and Weiyang get their marriage certificate. Well, I'll go out and wait. After saying that, he turned and walked out. Sudeji put on her clothes quickly. This situation is really embarrassing. But she did not forget to remind Liu Lang, Brat, don't forget to ask for 1 million. Liu Lang said, oh, walked out of the room, went to the first floor, and saw Yi Qingcheng sitting on the sofa waiting. Seeing Liu Lang coming down, Yi Qingcheng stood up and walked out, saying, come with me. In the car. Yi Qingcheng asked casually, you also know medical skills? Liu Lang answered truthfully, I understand a little bit. I heard you're good at fighting too. Yeah, 7 or 8 times a night is no problem. Ahem. Yi Qingcheng almost choked on her own saliva and glanced at Liu Lang. Do you understand management? Isn't that simple? Liu Lang said nonchalantly, Auntie, I know you don't know me very well yet, so let me tell you this, I know a little bit about everything in the world. Have a baby. Cough cough. Liu Lang suddenly started coughing violently. The slap in the face came too quickly. I do know everything, but when it comes to giving birth, I'm not equipped. Yi Qingcheng's lips curved into an elegant arc, and she handed a bottle of water to Liu Lang. I mean, let Weiyang give birth to a child for you. Liu Lang took the water and took a sip. Auntie, you are such a joker. Yi Weiyang and I have no feelings for each other yet. I just wanted to deal with my sister and take 1 million to make her happy. As for having a baby. Gulp gulp. Halfway through his speech, Liu Lang drank the entire bottle of water. But the next second, Liu Lang felt dizzy. Bang! His head tilted and he fainted on the spot. Yi Qingcheng curled her lips. Humph, I want to see who you are. Boom! The accelerator was stepped on. Not long after, Yi Qingcheng drove back to the villa. After she parked the car in the underground garage, she carried Liu Lang directly into the basement. After putting Liu Lang on an iron chair, Yi Qingcheng was about to tie him up, but Liu Lang raised his head and said, "Auntie, you've gone through so much trouble, are you interested in me?" Yi Qingcheng jumped back in shock. Why did you wake up so quickly?" While in the car, Yi Qingcheng put a large amount of sleeping pills in the water that Liu Lang drank. It would be impossible to wake up without 3 or 4 hours. It's only been a dozen minutes, how come Liu Lang woke up? Liu Lang stood up and walked towards Yi Qingcheng. Yi Qingcheng panicked and kicked Liu Lang. Unexpectedly, Liu Lang grabbed Yi Qingcheng's ankle and pushed Yi Qingcheng into the corner. Yi Qingcheng was caught off guard and was pressed against the wall by Liu Lang in a weird posture. She never dreamed that her knees would touch her chest in this life. "Auntie, you can't hide your little tricks from me at all." Seeing Yi Qingcheng's blushing cheeks, Liu Lang couldn't help but smile playfully and stretched his hand to the middle of Yi Qingcheng's chest. Yi Qingcheng pushed Liu Lang away. "Asshole, I am Yi Weiyang's mother." Yi Qingcheng originally wanted to tie up Liu Lang and then interrogate him to find out who Liu Lang really was. After all, Liu Lang is too mysterious. If you want to understand him, the most effective way is to intimidate and interrogate him. But he didn't expect that he would shoot himself in the foot. Looking at Liu Lang's evil smile, Yi Qingcheng was about to get angry, but saw that Liu Lang was holding a necklace in his hand. Yi Qingcheng quickly touched her neck and found that the necklace on her neck was gone. "Liu Lang, give me back the necklace." Liu Lang looked at the necklace in his hand, then slowly took out another necklace from his pocket and buckled the two necklaces together. It matches perfectly. Painted skin, worthy of being that old man's woman. Liu Lang threw both necklaces in his hand to Yi Qingcheng. Yi Qingcheng caught the necklace and was stunned. You are Long Aoqian's apprentice." "Long Aoqian?" Liu Lang was stunned. Didn't he that old guy say his name was Zhao Riqian? No, it seemed that one time when he was sleeping, he called himself Yi Liangchen. Not a single word of truth is told. I can only be considered half his apprentice. Liu Lang took out the jade ring. Yi Qingcheng stared at the jade ring and her eyes suddenly turned red. The charm just now also disappeared. Holding the two necklaces tightly in his hands, he spoke for a long time before saying, "How is he now?" "Hang up." "Dead." Yi Qingcheng was stunned at first, then her eyes sparkled. Har, he died well, died well. Back then, he suddenly left without saying goodbye, leaving the three of us worried. If I hadn't fled to Tianzhu and changed my name, I'm afraid he would have died by now. As she spoke, Yi Qingcheng's body began to tremble slightly. She slowly sat down, hugged her arms and sobbed softly. After crying for a while, Yi Qingcheng seemed to have thought of something and raised her head. "By the way, have you found his other women?" Liu Lang shook his head. "Auntie, you are the first mistress I found after I came back." Har, good, very good. Yi Qingcheng laughed and said, "Liu Lang, my good son-in-law, it was all a misunderstanding before. No wonder you are not afraid of my knockout drug. Since you are his disciple, let alone knockout drugs, even arsenic cannot kill you." Seemingly in a good mood, Yi Qingcheng explained, "Actually, I just wanted to test you, don't take it to heart." Seeing Yi Qingcheng change her expression as soon as she said so, Liu Lang thought to himself that if they are not from the same family, they will not enter the same door. After a slight hesitation, Liu Lang asked the question in his mind. That old guy said that when his daughter was born, a 5-petal flower was tattooed on her buttocks, but I have seen Yi Weiyang's buttocks, there is no such flower at all. Could it be that Yi Weiyang is not your daughter? Yi Qingcheng smiled playfully. "Don't you know my nickname?" "You mean painted skin?" Yes. Yi Qingcheng turned around and faced Liu Lang, fiddling with her face. But after more than a minute, when he turned around again, the face had changed dramatically. Liu Lang was stunned. "How's it going, Auntie? Is my disguise skill okay?" Yi Qingcheng said proudly. "Amazing." Liu Lang exclaimed sincerely, "Auntie, no wonder my bastard master can't forget you. This feeling is almost the same as changing people every night, right? With such ability, wouldn't it be easy to cover up the mark on Yi Weiyang's butt?" Chapter 10 Weiyang Group. Fuck you. Just like that bastard, you can't spit out ivory from a dog's mouth. Yi Qingcheng rolled her eyes and looked at Liu Lang with an increasingly intimate look. It felt like looking at my own son. "Xiao Lang, come on, follow me to Weiyang Group. I will arrange your marriage with Weiyang now." Yi Qingcheng put his hand on his face and returned to his original appearance. "Damn, that's exciting. I wonder what it would be like if Weiyang could change her appearance and change her posture every night like a different person. Liu Lang's face was immediately filled with anticipation. Auntie, have you taught Weiyang this skill of disguise? Yi Qingcheng understood Liu Lang's thoughts and spat. Why, do you still want to change people every night? More than every night. After complaining in his heart, Liu Lang smiled awkwardly. Auntie, I'm just asking casually. Yi Qingcheng sighed softly, her expression becoming lonely. Not only did I not teach her the art of disguise, in order to avoid being discovered by your master's enemies, I also used a special method to cover up the mark on Weiyang's butt. After a pause, he looked deep and said, over the years, I have never mentioned the past to Weiyang and the others, and I dare not contact your master's former friends. Let's go. I'll tell you in detail on their way to their company. On their way, Liu Lang learned about Yi Qingcheng's experiences back then. According to Yi Qingcheng, Liu Lang's master suddenly disappeared almost 1 month after Yi Qingcheng gave birth to Yi Weiyang. At that time, Yi Fengchun was just over 2 years old. After the disappearance, the old man specially asked someone to send Yi Qingcheng and the other two to Tianzhu, and told them not to expose themselves and just wait for news. As a result, their wait lasted for more than 20 years. However, Yi Qingcheng didn't know why the strange old man disappeared and why he appeared in Atlantis. Even Yi Qingcheng only knew that the strange old man had a high status in the underground world, and did not know that the strange old man was the human emperor of the underground world. In prison, Liu Lang asked the strange old man many times, but the other party avoided talking about what happened that year and told Liu Lang that it would not be good for him to know. This doubt has been bothering Liu Lang. Even when the strange old man was dying, he didn't tell Liu Lang. I know that bastard had many female confidants around him back then, and I also understand that I was just one of his women. Recalling the past, Yi Qingcheng's eyes flashed with melancholy. In fact, I also hoped that he would come back one day, but I didn't expect that when I heard from him again, he would have been gone forever. Liu Lang still regretted that Yi Weiyang didn't know how to disguise herself, so he couldn't experience the face-changing service. But infected by Yi Qingcheng's emotions, Liu Lang stopped laughing and said seriously, Master's wife, in fact, the bastard master still misses you in his heart, otherwise he wouldn't have asked me to come back to find you. Let's not talk about this anymore. Yi Qingcheng interrupted Liu Lang and smiled. Liu Lang, since you are his disciple, I have no objection to you marrying Weiyang. We will be a family from now on. Weiyang's affairs are your affairs, right? Liu Lang always felt that Yi Qingcheng had something else in mind, but remembering his promise to the strange old man, he nodded. That's fine. With your attitude, I feel relieved. The car soon arrived at Weiyang Group. Everyone in the company knew that Yi Qingcheng was Yi Weiyang's mother, so no one stopped her from entering the office building. Yi Qingcheng asked Liu Lang to find Yi Weiyang first, and she turned around and walked into an office next door. Liu Lang didn't think much about it and walked straight to the president's office. As soon as I reached the door, I heard a threatening voice coming from inside. Boss Yi, why are you so reckless? Your marriage to Mr. Zhao is a match made in heaven. Now you have offended Mr. Zhao. The bank won't lend us money, and Mr. Zhao won't take the money. If this continues, it won't be long before our company is finished. Yes, Mr. Yi, I think you are too impulsive. At the engagement scene, you actually asked a guy who appeared out of nowhere to act as your boyfriend. Isn't this a slap in the face of Mr. Zhao? Boss Yi, you should go to the hospital right now to see Mr. Zhao and apologize to him. Maybe our company still has room for maneuver. Enough. Yi Weiyang seemed very angry. It has already happened. What's the point of you talking about this now? Humph, Jiayang did such a dirty thing. Even if the company really goes bankrupt, I will not marry him. Boss Yi. A deep voice rang out. Since you said so, please return my shares to me. I resign. That's right, give me back my shares and I'll quit. I quit, too. Are you threatening me? Yi Weiyang was emotional. Asking for shares at a time like this, wouldn't that be adding fuel to the fire? Liu Lang frowned. He pushed the office door open. There were more than a dozen company executives sitting inside. Hearing the sound of the door being pushed open, the people inside looked at Liu Lang. Why are you here? Yi Weiyang never expected Liu Lang to come to her company. Although she reluctantly agreed to marry Liu Lang, it was only to deal with Zhao Yang and prevent him from pestering her. Liu Lang strode to Yi Weiyang's side, sat down with his sword and golden horse, and said, Everyone, have you all accepted Zhao Yang's benefits? Bang! A middle-aged man slapped the table, looking as if he was humiliated. He pointed at Liu Lang and shouted, "Who the hell are you? You have no right to speak here." Par. Liu Lang slapped the man in the face. "Shut up. You dare to hit me." The man covered his face and was furious. "I am Feng Xiaoxing, the vice president of Weiyang Group. How dare you hit me? Security, come in quickly." Outside, more than a dozen security guards rushed in. "Drag this guy out, drag him out." Feng Xiaoxing pointed at Liu Lang and shouted, "Don't move." Yi Weiyang's face flushed and she glared at Liu Lang. "What are you doing here? As a CEO, it's okay that you have small breasts, but I don't know where your brain is." Liu Lang shook his head, tapped the table twice, and glanced around jokingly. "Don't you realize that these people have been bribed by Zhao Yang? Isn't it futile for you to argue with them?" Yi Weiyang was furious. She actually called herself small-breasted and brainless. "Are you here to cause trouble? Security, drive them away. Where did this little bastard come from?" Those so-called company executives jumped up one by one. Yi Weiyang saw that the situation was getting out of control and was suddenly at a loss. Bang! Liu Lang slapped Feng Xiaoxing in the face again. "If anyone says another word of nonsense, I will kill him. You dare?" Feng Xiaoxing pointed at Liu Lang, his face full of resentment. Liu Lang grabbed Feng Xiaoxing's hand and picked up a ballpoint pen on the table. Phew! It stabbed directly into the back of Feng Xiaoxing's hand, nailing his hand to the table. "Come on, let's see if I dare," Liu Lang said playfully. "Arr!" Feng Xiaoxing screamed in pain. "Shut up!" Liu Lang glared. Feng Xiaoxing's face turned pale, but he didn't dare to say another word. The senior executives around were all terrified and silent. The security guards were also confused. Although they are security guards, they have never seen such a cruel person. "Are you going to eat Yi Weiyang's food, or these crappy vice president's food?" Liu Lang looked at the security guards. The security guards looked at each other. I didn't know how to respond for a moment. Liu Lang snorted coldly. "Yi Weiyang is my woman, whoever dares to move, I will make him pay. Change your right hand into a palm." It chopped directly on the edge of the solid wood table. Snap! The corner of the table was chopped off in an instant. The security guards were so scared that they couldn't help but shiver. "Brother, you decide who to deal with, we will listen to you." A security guard was the first to recognize the situation and expressed his position immediately. Chapter 11 Marriage Agreement. "You have a future." Liu Lang looked at the security guard approvingly. "What's your name?" "Chen Bing." "Okay, Chen Bing, from now on, you are the security captain." Chen Bing said with embarrassment, "Brother, I am the security captain." "Oh, I was careless." Liu Lang remained calm. "Can the security captain I appointed be the same?" "Humph, starting next month, your salary will be increased by another 3,000 yuan. "Thank you, brother." Chen Bing immediately perked up. Yi Weiyang couldn't help but say, "Liu Lang, I am the president. Get out of the way, you have nothing to do here." Liu Lang said righteously. Yi Weiyang's head was full of question marks. "I am the president of the company, and you want me to get out of the way? How outrageous." Yi Weiyang wanted to get angry, but Liu Lang didn't give her a chance and directly ordered, "Okay, new security captain Chen Bing, keep an eye on him. Whoever was screaming the loudest just now, pull him out." "Why do you insist on adding a new security captain?" It was as if Yi Weiyang had dug up Liu Lang. She always felt that this guy was deliberately targeting her, but she had no evidence. Chen Bing immediately led the security guards to pull out those senior executives who had shouted the loudest. Seeing this scene, Yi Weiyang swallowed back the words that were about to come out of his mouth. These security guards saw that she was a weak woman who had been threatened by Feng Xiaoxing before, so they didn't listen to her at all. Liu Lang tamed them with just a few words. "Why do I feel like a waste? Hey, what are you daydreaming about?" Liu Lang glanced at Yi Weiyang and said, "Hurry up and draft the contract. Don't they want to get their shares back? Then satisfy them." "What?" Yi Weiyang frowned. "Liu Lang, what are you doing? Do you know what the current situation of my company is? There is not a penny on the company's books. How can I afford to buy back their shares?" "You don't have a penny." Liu Lang was stunned. then I'll lend it to you. You have money. Yi Weiyang's eyes suddenly lit up. Could it be that Liu Lang is an invisible rich man? However, when Liu Lang took out a handful of change, Yi Weiyang's face turned green. There were $1 coins and $5 coins in the change, and all added up probably wasn't even $100. Are you kidding me? Hey, this is all my belongings. Since we are so familiar with each other, I will lend it to you first. Liu Lang ignored Yi Weiyang's murderous look. Seeing that Yi Weiyang didn't move, he looked up and asked, "Who among you is from the legal department? Go and draw up 7 contracts immediately. I want to buy out their shares for $1. Wow. As soon as these words were spoken, everyone looked up, thinking that Liu Lang was crazy. Vice President Feng, right? Liu Lang smiled and pinched the ballpoint pen that was inserted into Feng Qiexing's hand. Don't you want shares? This is $1. Keep it. I will take back all the shares later. Do you have any objection? Feng Qiexing wanted to curse, but Liu Lang pulled out the ballpoint pen. Oh, I agree. Feng Qiexing screamed. When he saw Liu Lang threatening him with the bloody ballpoint pen again, how could he dare to say no? The manager of the legal department was also shocked. I didn't dare to delay and quickly drafted the contract. Under Yi Weiyang's stunned eyes, Liu Lang played with the bloody ballpoint pen and very fairly bought out all of their shares for $1 each. Since the major shareholder Feng Qiexing has signed, how dare the other shareholders make a fuss? What's more, looking at Feng Qiexing's bloody hands was too scary. It would be very uncomfortable if that thing pricked you. Go away. After watching them all sign the contract, Liu Lang directly ordered them to leave. You are robber. It was not until all the senior executives had left that Yi Weiyang came to his senses. He snatched the contract away with a look of disbelief on his face. Buy shares for $1. This feels like a dream. Aren't you afraid of their revenge? Yi Weiyang asked after calming down. Liu Lang said indifferently, revenge? Har har, it's written in black and white, they wrote it themselves, what is revenge for? Yi Weiyang was completely speechless. This Liu Lang is more than just an animal, he is simply a robber. After dealing with those senior executives, Liu Lang directly raised the monthly salary of the other security guards on the scene by another 1,000 yuan, which made those security guards so happy that their mouths were smiling like chrysanthemums. After sending everyone else away, Yi Qingcheng walked in with a stack of information, swaying her sexy waist. Mom, why are you here? Yi Weiyang didn't expect Yi Qingcheng to come to the company. Yi Qingcheng smiled charmingly. Why am I here? Humph, of course I'm worried about your marriage with Liu Lang. Our marriage? Here, this is the marriage agreement. Take a look at it and sign it quickly. Yi Qingcheng didn't waste any words. She looked at Liu Lang ambiguously, her eyes filled with more and more satisfaction. Yi Qingcheng had already seen what happened in the president's office just now. She just wanted to see if Liu Lang had the ability to solve it. Now it seems that this apprentice of her man is absolutely domineering. Seeing someone reminds me of him. This reminded Yi Qingcheng of the first time she met Long Aoqian. In the dim bar, Yi Qingcheng was drinking by himself. The man sat opposite Yi Qingcheng and clinked his wine glass with Yi Qingcheng's in a casual manner. Beauty, my jiaochan is on your waist. With just one sentence, Yi Qingcheng completely fell. From then on, Yi Qingcheng became the woman of Liu Lang's bastard master. Looking at the marriage agreement in front of her, Yi Weiyang was hesitant and picked it up to read. After just a glance, Yi Weiyang was stunned and turned around to ask, Mom, what do you mean? What's wrong? This is not a marriage agreement at all, it's my indenture contract. Yi Weiyang's face flushed. Nonsense, how could I sell you out? Yi Qingcheng snatched the marriage agreement and said seriously, I spent a long time thinking about this content before drafting it. Look, you get the marriage certificate tomorrow, hand over the company to Liu Lang within a week, get pregnant within a month, and give birth to the child within a year. Next, I will try to get 2 in 3 years, and 3 in 5 years. I have everything scheduled. What's the problem? Yi Weiyang was so angry that she was shaking all over. Mom, am I your daughter, or is Liu Lang your son? This contract not only sold me out, but also treated me like a sow. Nonsense, of course you are my daughter. Yi Qingcheng said seriously, but Liu Lang is also my son-in-law. As he spoke, he turned around and looked at Liu Lang with a smile, "My dear son-in-law, what do you think of this contract? Are you satisfied with it?" That look was full of flattery. Weiyang felt that her mother had gone crazy. "I married Liu Lang just to deal with Zhao Yang's entanglement. Why did my mother turn around and sell me out?" Did you use any tricks to threaten my mother?" Weiyang stared at Liu Lang. Liu Lang was speechless for a while. He took the contract and looked at it twice. Suddenly there were two heads, one big. "Aunt, I know I'm very good, but I don't want any company. Besides, I married your daughter just for sex, not for the purpose of having children. How come you've had 2 children in 3 years, 3 and 5 years, and I'm like a stud?" Weiyang was so angry. "Why do you sound so reluctant? Mom, are you threatened by him? If you are really threatened by him and it is inconvenient to speak, just blink your eyes." Weiyang stood in front of Yi Qingcheng and said, "If he dares to do anything here, I will ask my brother to arrest him." Chapter 12: Weiyang's Revenge. "Why are you blinking?" Yi Qingcheng pushed Weiyang away, took Liu Lang's hand and said with a smile, "Xiaolang, Weiyang is a child who doesn't know much, don't take it to heart, just sign it quickly. Doesn't the company still have a shortfall of 300 million? How about you try to fill the shortfall and get through this difficult time temporarily? What do you say?" "Me, to make up for the 300 million shortfall." Liu Lang pointed at his nose. "Auntie, do you think I'm rich? I'm talking to you about women, and you're talking to me about money? Are you kidding? Even though they are both filling gaps, can they be the same?" Yi Qingcheng nodded vigorously. Her eyes seemed to say, "Your bastard master must have left all the money to you. 300 million is just a piece of cake." Only then did Liu Lang understand. Yi Qingcheng had been eyeing that money for a long time. No wonder she is the old man's woman. Her calculations are almost as cunning as Su Deiji's. Liu Lang complained in his heart. But that money has nothing to do with him now. Before the strange old man died, he said that if he inherited the throne of the human emperor, Liu Lang could use the money at will. Otherwise, not a penny can be moved. Liu Lang didn't care how much money the strange old man left behind. Because Liu Lang didn't want to be the emperor at all. Is it better to hug a girl than to fight and kill every day? However, Liu Lang did save a lot of money during his years in Longyear, but he saved it all. At that time, Liu Lang had deposited his savings in a special account in Longyear, so that if anything unexpected happened, he would leave the money to Su Deiji. At least this way Su Deiji can have no worries about food and clothing for the rest of her life. Now that he is back in Tianzhu, Liu Lang no longer has to linger on the brink of life and death. He must find an opportunity to ask the old man Longyear for the money. "Well, after getting that money, I'll ask my sister to open a few more matchmaking agencies. It's really not for my elder sister to introduce me to a beautiful female best friend. That's right, actually I was looking for a woman just to fulfill the old man's last wish." As he thought about it, Liu Lang felt that he was simply great. No money. All my belongings are here. Liu Lang put the remaining change on the table into his trouser pocket. "Auntie, I spent $7 just now to deal with the company's parasites. Remember to ask Weiyang to pay me back later." Bar. Weiyang couldn't help but spit, looking at Yi Qingcheng. "Mom, you let me marry this kind of person, hand over the company to him, and give birth to a child for him. You really don't need to blink an eye. This girl is not done yet." Yi Qingcheng raised her hand and knocked Weiyang on the head. "Silly girl, your mother is not threatened. Why are you talking so much nonsense? Just sign it quickly." "I won't sign." Weiyang pouted. But she knew that once her mother made a decision, no one could change it. His eyes rolled. "Unless Liu Lang can make up the 300 million shortfall for me, otherwise, I will never sign even if you kill me." Weiyang looked stubborn. "You stupid girl, you are rebelling." Yi Qingcheng was anxious. Joke. This is a great opportunity to tie Liu Lang down. Since he is the apprentice of that old bastard, I wonder how many girls are waiting to snatch him away. What's more, if the other wives knew about Liu Lang's existence, how would his daughter be able to have a place? "Mom, even if you beat me to death, I won't agree." Weiyang stiffened her neck and tears burst out. Yi Qingcheng was so angry. "But there was nothing I could do for the moment. If I can come up with 300 million, can you give me 1 million? At this time, Liu Lang spoke. "Certainly." Weiyang struck while the iron was hot and said, I happen to know a bank manager, but that bank manager is very lustful. Liu Lang, if you can accompany me to borrow 300 million, I can give you 1 million. However, we have to make the marriage agreement ourselves, and my mother can't make it. Okay. Liu Lang was eager to try. Actually, I'm not doing this for your 1 million. I just don't like the lecherous bank manager. I must teach him a lesson. Mom, go find your best friend to play mahjong. Weiyang smiled with a look of success, called Liu Lang and turned to leave. Come to the underground garage. Weiyang sat in the driver's seat and fumbled for a long time but still couldn't start the car. Let's go, what are you looking for? Liu Lang was puzzled. Weiyang blushed, why are you rushing me? I'm looking for a place to get a lighter. What? Liu Lang was stunned and grabbed the seatbelt in fear. You can't drive. Weiyang said stubbornly, who said I can't drive? However, I have always had a driver after I learned to drive. Humph, it's all because of Zhao Yang and those old guys in the company. They always make things difficult for me and even threaten my driver. My driver couldn't stand the threat and ran away. As he spoke, Weiyang finally lit the fire. Then, shift into gear. Move forward at a snail's pace. Sister, can you hurry up? Liu Lang reminded. Why are you rushing me? I'm already fast enough. If I go any faster, are you going to fly to heaven? Weiyang looked dissatisfied. Liu Lang turned his head and took a look. Okay, 30 yards. It's so damn fast. How about I drive? Liu Lang didn't dare to provoke the female driver who was driving, and his tone was much more relaxed. You should have told me you could drive. Weiyang stopped the car immediately. After changing to the driver's seat, Liu Lang started the car. Weiyang sat in the passenger seat, secretly wiping the sweat off her forehead. Her tense expression relaxed a little. She glanced at Liu Lang and couldn't help but ask, why didn't you tell me earlier that you can drive? Didn't you already know that I can drive? When did I know that? Hey, I drove it last night. It's a new car. Weiyang clenched his fists suddenly. Humph, when I get back, I'll embarrass you. Not long. We have arrived at the bank. Weiyang took Liu Lang directly to the bank manager's office. Knock on the door. Come in. A rough female voice sounded from inside. Weiyang pushed open the door. There was a middle-aged woman sitting in the office. The woman looked to weigh at least 300 pounds, and the 2 lumps of flesh on her chest were like basketballs sticking out of the desk, looking extremely shocking. Where's your manager? Liu Lang looked around and saw that there was only the fat woman in the office, so he immediately asked. I'm the manager. The fat woman raised her head and just glanced at Liu Lang, and a strange light suddenly flashed in the depths of her eyes. Then, he looked at Weiyang, smiled and said, Hey, isn't this Mr. Yi? What brings you here? Although Weiyang was very unhappy with this fat woman, she still tried to force out a smile and pointed at Liu Lang beside her. Manager Zhang, this is my newly hired driver Liu Lang. Last time I wanted to borrow 300 million yuan, he will come to talk to you today. Really? The fat woman quickly stood up and looked at Liu Lang unscrupulously. Liu Lang felt goosebumps all over his body, and lowered his voice to ask Weiyang, what's going on? That lecherous manager you mentioned, isn't she the one? Weiyang looked at Liu Lang's horrified expression and suppressed a smile. Yes, I didn't say the other person was a man. Don't worry, as long as you can help me borrow 300 million from her to fill the gap in the company, I will immediately pay you the 1 million you want. After saying that, he turned and left. By the way, close the door heavily. You little bastard, you want to fight with me? Chapter 13 Give me my money. The moment the door closed, Weiyang felt relaxed in every pore of his body. The manager's name was Zhang Meili, and Weiyang had always been harassed when he came to apply for a loan. Following Zhao Yang's instructions, Zhang Meili also instigated other banks to prevent them from lending to Weiyang Group. But she prefers men. It is said that by taking advantage of her position, Zhang Meili has taken advantage of many young men. If Liu Lang falls into the hands of the other party this time, he will definitely be in a very embarrassing situation. Thinking of Liu Lang's panicked look as he fled from the office a while ago, Weiyang quickly took out his mobile phone and turned on the video function. In the office, Liu Lang sat down. Zhang Meili stared at Liu Lang and her saliva was almost flowing out. You are Yi Weiyang's driver, so you can drive. Zhang Meili wiped the saliva from the corner of her mouth. Certainly. Where's the tank? That's not easy. Liu Lang said, forget tanks, even planes are no problem. Real. Zhang Meili's eyes became brighter and brighter. She suddenly stood up, quickly went over to lock the door, then sat down on the desk and threw a disgusting wink at Liu Lang. Come over and open it. Ooh. Liu Lang almost vomited on the spot. Pete. I finally got a chance to be serious, but someone overtook me on the corner. Damn it, the tank you old woman are talking about is yourself. Etc. Liu Lang resisted the urge to vomit out the leftover food. This scene is too rare for fishermen who have been wandering on the sea for many years. However, this is not a problem for Liu Lang. At worst, he could use the money he had saved for Sudeji over the years to deal with the problem. After all, Yi Weiyang was the woman he had stamped his stamp on. Anyway, for me, making money is the easiest thing in the world, just like picking up girls. He took out his cell phone and made a call directly. Old man, I want to get back the money I have earned with my life over the years. Death, you are the one who has the greatest hope of becoming the next leader of Longyear. Don't you really not plan to come back? The person on the other end of the line was naturally Longyear's Long Da. Why so much nonsense? How am I going to get the money? Liu Lang was too lazy to talk nonsense. The old man on the other end of the phone seemed a little regretful, but he still reported an account number to Liu Lang truthfully. This account is originally in your name. There is no need for a physical card. As long as you report the account number, the money in it is all your merits over the years. Thank you. Liu Lang hung up the phone directly and looked at Zhang Meili, who was licking her lips and staring at him with lustful eyes. Wait a minute, I'll vomit first. Liu Lang finally couldn't bear it anymore, so he ran to the trash can in the corner and vomited several times. Only then did he feel a little better. As expected, it was not a beauty who defeated me, but a dinosaur. Withdraw money. Liu Lang stroked his chest and breathed. How much? Zhang Meili asked subconsciously. How would I know? Liu Lang said unhappily. Zhang Meili smiled so much that her eyes were almost squeezed into slits. She reached out and touched Liu Lang's chest. A handsome boy like you, 2,000 for one time is fine. As long as you take good care of me in the future, you won't have to be Yi Weiyang's driver. Damn, 2,000 at a time. Liu Lang jumped back to avoid Zhang Meili's pig's claws. He suddenly realized that he and Zhang Meili seemed to be on different channels. I said, I need to withdraw money, quickly. Liu Lang glared and raised his hand to chop off a corner of the solid wooden table. According to Liu Lang's thinking, this hard-working move of his would also scare Zhang Meili. Unexpectedly, Zhang Meili became even more excited. She took off her coat and rushed towards Liu Lang. Mama MIA. It's going to cost me my life. Liu Lang was completely convinced. He stepped forward and punched Zhang Meili in the face. Ugly people are more likely to do bad things. Wow, you're so manly. I like you so much. Zhang Meili cried like a sow. Liu Lang broke out in a cold sweat. I simply rushed behind the desk and entered the relevant data myself. The next second, before Zhang Meili could move her face closer, a string of big red words popped up on the computer screen. Black Gold Customer. What's going on? Liu Lang grabbed Zhang Meili's hair and pointed her face directly at the screen. Zhang Meili was expecting Liu Lang to continue ravaging her, but when she saw the words popping up on the screen, she was so scared that she fell to her knees. She stared at Liu Lang with surprise, as if she had seen some terrible monster. What are you looking at? Liu Lang pointed at the screen and asked unhappily, what's going on? Zhang Meili came to her senses, struggled to get up, turned around and rushed outside. Bang! As the door opened, Zhang Meili almost bumped into Yi Weiyang, who was eavesdropping. Manager Zhang, what's wrong with you? Seeing Zhang Meili's miserable face covered with bruises, Yi Weiyang's heart skipped a beat. Is it so exciting to play? Zhang Meili had no time to talk to Yi Weiyang. He staggered towards the president's office. Not long after, Zhang Meili came back in a panic, leading a middle-aged man. Then, the two of them entered the room and slammed the door shut. Yi Weiyang was completely confused. Threesome? Oh my god, so disgusting. 10 minutes later. Liu Lang walked out with his head held high. Zhang Meili bowed and nodded to the bank president, turning into a bootlicker. Mr. Liu, take care. If you have any problem in the future, just ask. As long as we have money in the bank, just one word will do the trick. By the way, we will transfer the 300 million from Weiyang Group to their account later, and we will not charge any interest. Okay, stop seeing me off. Liu Lang glanced at Yi Weiyang and raised his eyebrows. President Zhao, you said that our company can get a loan of 300 million. Yi Weiyang still couldn't believe his ears. President Zhao said quickly, Of course, Mr. Yi, if you had told us earlier that you knew Mr. Liu, let alone 300 million, even if it was 1 billion, we would have loaned you the money right away. Yi Weiyang was stunned. How is this different from what I imagined? Could it be that Liu Lang is so powerful that he has slept with both Zhang Meili and President Zhao? Let's go. Liu Lang walked out. Yi Weiyang followed behind and walked a long way. She saw Zhang Meili and President Zhao still standing at the bank entrance, looking at them respectfully. Ding-ling-ling. At this time, Yi Weiyang's cell phone rang. After picking up the phone and listening to a few sentences, Yi Weiyang's last bit of doubt was dispelled. 300 million has arrived. Liu Lang, I didn't expect you to have such a strong taste. Yi Weiyang inexplicably felt as if his heart was stabbed hard. Heavy taste. Liu Lang turned his head and looked at Yi Weiyang. You want to treat me to spicy food? Humph, why are you pretending? Yi Weiyang rolled her eyes and stayed away from Liu Lang. I will give you your 1 million when I get back, but you. Thinking of the relationship she had with Liu Lang and how Liu Lang had no restraints on food, Yi Weiyang felt nauseous and covered her mouth to try hard not to vomit. A hit? It can't be that fierce, right? Liu Lang stared at Yi Weiyang suspiciously and asked, What's wrong? Are you pregnant? Fuck you, you're pregnant. Yi Weiyang felt mixed emotions and couldn't help shouting, I didn't expect you to be that kind of person. Humph, Zhang Meili is a pig, and you actually dared to eat her, and even dragged President Zhao here. You are so disgusting. Liu Lang was stunned, and then his whole face turned black as charcoal. I am a billionaire, and yet I have been defiled by you. Woman, open your big, Kazalan eyes and see that I can lend money because I win people over with money. Liu Lang directly opened the bank client and showed his bank balance. Chapter 14 I want to sign an agreement. Looking at the string of numbers, Yi Weiyang felt his mind go blank. After a careful count, it turned out to be exactly 1 billion. She has worked hard for so many years, but the total assets of the entire Weiyang group are only 10 billion, and the current assets have never exceeded 100 million. This guy actually has a billion in account balance alone. Are you really rich? Yi Weiyang took a deep breath and tried to keep herself calm. Why, do you feel like your big, Kazalan eyes are blinded by the light? Liu Lang didn't expect that he would make so much money over the years at Longyear. Moreover, according to the bank president, he only has 10 accounts like this in the whole country. They are all black and gold cards, and they represent distinguished status. It seems that this was done by that old guy Longyear on purpose. At least he has a conscience. Liu Lang put away his phone and said mysteriously, although I am rich, I am a low-key person. I hope you don't tell others. I understand. Yi Weiyang grinned immediately. Your sister doesn't know either, does she? Liu Lang shook his head. Yi Weiyang's eyes sparkled, and her tone was gentle. Liu Lang, I misunderstood you. Look, you helped me borrow 300 million yuan and helped me so much. In order to repay you, let's go get the marriage certificate quickly. Fuck, you really are planning to take my body. Seeing Yi Weiyang reaching out his hand, Liu Lang quickly took 2 steps back. Yi Weiyang, I still like your unruly look, change it. Okay. Yi Weiyang puffed out his chest and said seriously, 1 million, I will take it to your sister tonight and propose marriage. TSK, Wang Zai little bun. Liu Lang glanced at Yi Weiyang's chest and turned away. You bastard. Yi Weiyang was furious. What happened to the little bun? Have you eaten your meal? Looking at Liu Lang's back, Yi Weiyang's eyes became more determined. After hesitating for a moment, he took out his cell phone and called Yi Qingcheng. Mom, I want to be a sow. Poof. Yi Qingcheng was drinking coffee when she suddenly heard Yi Weiyang's words and sprayed on the spot. Are you okay? It's okay. Yi Weiyang explained, you said to follow Liu Lang and have 2 children in 3 years, and 3 children in 5 years. I think I can do it. Yi Qingcheng breathed a sigh of relief. I thought you were going insane because of too much pressure. Why? Why did you suddenly change your mind? Yi Qingcheng was a little curious. Liu Lang's account balance alone is 1 billion. Yi Weiyang said excitedly, if I agree to marry him, then once I divorce him, can I get 500 million? Yi Qingcheng, what else? No more. Yi Weiyang said strangely, Mom, didn't you deliberately let me sign the marriage agreement just because you knew he was rich? He, as long as we can get married, I will get his money first, and then the Weiyang group will be alive. Yi Weiyang said expectantly. That's it? Yi Qingcheng was speechless. How could my daughter be so short-sighted? Liu Lang is the heir to the human emperor. Just 10 billion, just a drop in the bucket. I understand. Since you agree, just sign it. In any case, get the certificate first. By the way, in order to get the marriage certificate smoothly, you'd better go find your best friend Sudeji and ask her to come forward. Yi Qingcheng reminded. No problem. Yi Weiyang said happily. At the same time, Tianjing. In a spacious office. An old man stood in front of the huge French window, holding a cigar in his hand and took a deep puff. Dragon Sky. The boss of Longyear. Death, you never thought that your personal account has long been linked to the money that old man left for you, right? Har har, as long as you touch the money you earned from Longyear, that account will be triggered. By then, that person in the underground world will know of your existence. Since you don't want to return to Longyear, then you can become the emperor of the underground world. Picking up the phone, he made a call. Rose, spread the news in the underground world. The human emperor is back. After Liu Lang separated from Yi Weiyang, he went directly to a street in the city center that was about to be demolished. The place is in a dilapidated state, with only a few doors still open. Arrived in front of one of the houses, Liu Lang fell into memories. This is where I grew up. It is also the place where I met Sudeji. It was even the place where Liu Lang and Sudeji relied on each other after their parents suddenly disappeared. But now things are different. This place is about to be demolished. Sudeji used the demolition money to buy a shop and opened a matchmaking agency. Since he came back, Liu Lang was afraid that Sudeji would be sad, so he never mentioned his parents. But in Liu Lang's heart, he always felt that the sudden disappearance of his parents was not simple. From childhood to adulthood, in Liu Lang's impression, his parents were not only kind-hearted, but also very good to himself and Sudeji. It is simply impossible to abandon them suddenly. Are you Liu Lang? Just when Liu Lang was full of thoughts, a male voice rang out. Liu Lang turned his head and saw 7 or 8 people walking quickly towards him from a distance. Fuck, kid, I finally found you. The leader had a scar on his face and stared at Liu Lang with an evil smile. Who are you? Stop pretending. Scar laughed grimly, pointed at Liu Lang and shouted, Young Master Zhao asked us to cripple your legs. Tell me, should we do it, or do you do it yourself? Zhao Yang. Nonsense. Oh. Liu Lang asked playfully, how much money did he give you? 100,000. Okay, 100,000 for 2 legs. Liu Lang nodded silently and glanced at the people behind Scar. There are 8 of you in total, so 800,000 will be fine. When these words were spoken, Scar and the others were stunned. You said you would give us 800,000. Liu Lang stretched out a finger and shook his head, jokingly saying, no, you gave me 800,000. Fuck, you are kidding us. Scar waved his hand, fuck him. After shouting, Scar took 2 steps back, took out a cigarette and put it in his mouth. In his opinion, his men were all brave and ruthless, and it would be easy for them to chop off Liu Lang's legs in less than a cigarette's time. However, before he could light the fire, he suddenly felt a darkness in front of his eyes. Bang! Scar was knocked to the ground by someone. Fuck, you guys. Scar thought that Liu Lang had bumped into him. When I looked up, I was stunned. All of his men were lying on the ground in a mess, wailing. The person who hit him was his own younger brother. Click. The cigarette in his mouth fell to the ground. Liu Lang walked up to Scarface and said, 800,000, is that a win? Gulp. Scar swallowed his saliva and nodded vigorously, yes. Waste. Bang. In the ward. Zhao Yang picked up the cup on the bedside and threw it on the ground. In front of him, kneeling tremblingly, was Feng Qiaoxing, the vice president of Weiyang Group. Feng Qiaoxing still had a bandage on his hand. He looked frustrated. "Mr. Zhao, I did everything you said, but that kid is too scary. Look, if I don't agree to sell the shares to him, I might even lose my life." Zhao Yang's eyes were cold. "Humph, I have already sent people to destroy that guy. After that brat is crippled, I want to see what that bitchy Weiyang can do." Bang! At this moment, the door of the ward was knocked open. "Mr. Zhao, I missed." Chapter 15. Yi Fengchun investigates a case. The person who came was Scar. "What's going on?" Zhao Yang's heart sank. Scar still had lingering fear and recounted the general course of events. He then said angrily, "Mr. Zhao, that bastard blackmailed us for a sum of money. You must compensate me for this." Zhao Yang didn't expect Liu Lang to be such a good fighter. He subconsciously glanced at his calf, which was still wrapped in bandages. At the engagement scene, Liu Lang punched his own calf, causing a comminuted fracture. If he hadn't recovered yet, Zhao Yang would have dealt with Liu Lang personally. Now that I heard Scar's words, I felt a little relieved. "How much?" Zhao Yang asked. 50,000 for one leg. I'm honest and trustworthy. "Mr. Zhao, there are 8 of us. Just give me 1,150,000. Scar took out his cell phone, opened the calculator, calculated for a while, and looked up. Zhao Yang was stunned, frowning. "Brother Dao, although you are working for me, since one leg is 50,000, the 8 of you are only 800,000, why do you want 1,150,000? Scar said seriously, "Don't all men have 3 legs?" Zhao Yang held his chin and thought for a while before he understood. "Damn, you are still driving on this broken road. The key point is that I don't have any room for rebuttal." He didn't want to offend Scar. After all, Scar is a gangster, so there is no need for that. "That's not right, Brother Dao, even if it has 3 legs, it should be 1,200,000. Zhao Yang thought about it and felt that his IQ was insulted. Scar shook his head. "Mr. Zhao, one of my brothers accidentally broke his legs while playing with his girlfriend, so he only has 2 legs. Zhao Yang's curiosity suddenly exploded. "So exciting." Scar sighed. "Well, it's not that exciting," but at the critical moment, his girlfriend's husband came back. Puff, 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 SS. Feng Qiaoxing, who was kneeling beside him, couldn't help but burst out laughing on the spot. The corner of Zhao Yang's mouth twitched. He gave Feng Qiaoxing a hard look. "What are you laughing at? Is it funny?" Feng Qiaoxing quickly shut up, but his face still turned red. "Mr. Zhao, I did everything you said. Now I have lost all my shares and 80 million. What do you think I should do? Damn it, how should I know what to do?" Zhao Yang rubbed his temples, feeling a little headache. Lost face at the engagement party. Now, more than 1 million has been lost. How unlucky I am. However, this is something that cannot be swallowed. Seeing that Zhao Yan was silent, Feng Qiaoxing squinted his eyes and moved closer to the bed. "Mr. Zhao, I actually have an immature suggestion." Still humble. "Why are you pretending? Just fart if you have to." Zhao Yang said unhappily. Feng Qiaoxing glanced at Scar and said, "Later, we just need to knock Yi Weiyang unconscious, then get her on the bed and take some photos. Are you afraid that she won't obey?" Upon hearing this, Zhao Yang looked at Feng Qiaoxing deeply. Immediately laughed. "Vice President Feng, you are a cultured person." He raised his head and looked at Scar. "Brother Dao, I will transfer the money to your account later. Since Liu Lang is not easy to deal with for the time being, then Yi Weiyang should be no problem, right?" Scar was secretly happy now that he had earned an extra 350,000 yuan for no reason. Hearing this, he naturally would not refuse, and patted his chest and promised, "Okay, this matter is left to me." After Liu Lang dealt with Scar and his gang, he did not take the matter to heart. He pushed open the dilapidated door and walked in. Most of the houses here are bungalows. "Come to the yard." It looked desolate. Liu Lang was upset. "Come to the east wall." There was a hole the size of a fist. When he was a child, Liu Lang watched the aunt next door taking a bath through this hole. Ever since being taught a lesson by Su Deji, their hole has been blocked with a stone. But later, their hole was opened again. By chance, Liu Lang discovered that the aunt next door always peeked at him while he was taking a bath. Hey, I think I was only 8 or 9 years old at that time. With a sigh in his heart, Liu Lang walked into their house. Everything in the house was cleared away, and after so many years, there are no clues left. It is no longer possible to find any traces of why my parents suddenly disappeared. After sitting in the room for more than half an hour, Liu Lang's ears moved and he heard what seemed to be whispers outside. Is the aunt next door back? Liu Lang quickly stood up and walked out of the yard, but saw a woman wearing a skirt and a sun hat at the door next door. The woman had her back to Liu Lang and was talking in a low voice towards the door. After a while, the woman walked forward, twisting her buttocks. As a result, this walk made Liu Lang's eyes widen instantly. How to say it? Awkward. That woman has big hips and even a thick waist. Could it be that this woman knows the aunt next door? He walked up quickly and patted the other person's shoulder. Little brother, is there something wrong? A Drake voice, as if someone was strangling their neck, sounded, giving people goosebumps. The woman turned around and grinned at Liu Lang. Shit. However, when Liu Lang saw the woman's face, he almost died of fright on the spot. Yifeng-chun. Bright red lips and thick foundation. But it still can't hide that angular face. Damn, this woman in the skirt is Yifeng-chun. Yifeng-chun also recognized Liu Lang at a glance, his pupils shrank. It's you. He raised his hand and grabbed Liu Lang. Liu Lang stepped back. Yifeng-chun, you pervert, why did you arrest me? Good boy, I deliberately lured you in here, and you finally couldn't help it. Yifeng-chun stopped and shouted, the suspect has taken the bait, come out quickly. However, before anyone appeared, a man wearing a baseball cap behind Liu Lang suddenly lowered his head, turned and walked in another direction. There is another accomplice over there. Yifeng-chun pointed at the man in the baseball cap and shouted. A door next to the man in the baseball cap suddenly opened. 3 people rushed out from inside. The 3 men pounced on the man in the baseball cap. Seeing that the situation was not good, the man in the peaked cap rushed towards Liu Lang, quickly pulled out a dagger, and put it on Liu Lang's neck. Don't come over, otherwise, I will kill him. At this time, more than a dozen plainclothes officers had already rushed out from the surroundings. Those people looked at the baseball cap and couldn't help feeling a little nervous. Yifeng-chun looked even more strange. Aren't you guys in the same group? Let me go, or I'll kill him, the man in the baseball cap continued to roar. Hey, brother, wait a minute, I'll laugh for a while. Liu Lang looked at Yifeng-chun without changing his expression, and suddenly burst into laughter. Yifeng-chun's face turned blue and purple. You, what are you laughing at? Nothing, I just didn't expect you to cosplay. If I hadn't seen you from the front, I would have almost not recognized you as a man. Liu Lang gave a thumbs up. Yifeng-chun, it seems that you have inherited some of Aunt Yi's advantages. Damn, kid, what are you laughing at? If you laugh again, I'll stab you. The man in the baseball cap became very anxious when he saw that Liu Lang didn't take him seriously at all. However, the next second, the man in the baseball cap suddenly felt a force coming from his hands. Then, the whole person leaped into the air. It made a 270-degree rotation. Beautiful shoulder throw. Bang! Before he could figure out what was going on, the baseball cap fell heavily to the ground. Chapter 16: The difficult topic. Quiet. The scene was silent. The police were all stunned. Pretty. Someone shouted. Yifeng-chun woke up as if from a dream, and immediately stepped forward and handcuffed the man in the baseball cap. Come back with me and take a statement. Yifeng-chun glared at Liu Lang. Police station. Yifeng-chun had changed back into his casual clothes and was sitting opposite Liu Lang with another police officer with complicated expressions. But this time, Liu Lang was not handcuffed, but sat in the office. Through the conversation, Liu Lang roughly understood why Yifeng-chun and his colleagues appeared on that street. There have been many similar cases in Chenzhou recently. A woman mysteriously disappeared after dating a man. Sometimes, a woman meets a rich man in a bar and goes to check into a room with him, but the man disappears the next day. It was for this reason that Liu Lang and Weiyang were caught red-handed that day. Yifeng-chun and his team also received news that the suspect had been seen on the street where Liu Lang's old house was. In order to attract the other party's attention, Yifeng-chun dressed up as a woman and walked around deliberately. As a result, no one expected to meet Liu Lang. Fortunately, nothing unexpected happened. Feng-chun, isn't he your father? After looking at Liu Lang for several times, the The colleague finally couldn't help but asked in a low voice. Yi Fengchuan's mouth twitched. Shut up. Liu Lang's ears were sharp. What are you talking about? I am his father. Hey, brother, ever since you ran out of the interrogation room last time, Captain Yi said that if you have that ability, he will acknowledge you as his father. The police officer grinned and said it out loud. Yi Fengchuan's face was straight up long. You go and interrogate the suspect, I will take his statement. The colleague stood up and left angrily. He actually wanted to ask Liu Lang more. After all, that over-the-shoulder throw was so beautiful. He also wants to learn it. I don't have a son like you. As a result, when his colleague just walked to the door, Liu Lang spoke again. Humph, wearing a skirt and calling someone little brother, disgusting. My colleague staggered and almost couldn't hold back his laughter. You? Yi Fengchun really wanted to slap Liu Lang twice, but he held back. Seeing that his colleague was still standing at the door eavesdropping, he roared, hurry up and go. Social death. It's just too social. The colleague ran away. Yi Fengchun went over and locked the door. Take a deep breath. He turned around and put on a smiling face. Liu Lang, actually there is a misunderstanding between us. Liu Lang crossed his legs and said, if you have something to say, just say it. Well, can I ask you for a favor? Liu Lang asked with interest. Oh? Officer Yi wants to arrest me, doesn't he? No, it's really a misunderstanding. Yi Fengchun was so angry that he wanted to bite Liu Lang to pieces, but he had to admit his mistake. There's no way. I've sacrificed too much for the sake of handling the case. My colleagues are fine. What would happen to his glorious image as a police officer if Weiyang and Sudeji heard this? It's like this. Look, just pretend that what happened today never happened. I had no choice but to wear that kind of clothes. Yi Fengchun tried hard to force out a smile that was uglier than crying. As long as you can help me keep the secret, I will no longer care about your affairs with Weiyang. Moreover, if you need me to, I will also help you match them up. What do you think? Not so good. Liu Lang shook his head and said, Weiyang is trying to pursue me now, and you don't even need to bring them together. Yi Fengchun was amused by Liu Lang. Weiyang is trying to chase you? Har har, Liu Lang, this is the funniest joke I have heard in these years. Putting aside the fact that you've been in jail, I know Weiyang's temper very well. She is a strong woman. Her engagement with Zhao Yang was just a temporary solution. To you, she is at most willing to compromise. As for her pursuing you, that will only happen if the sun rises from the west. Oh, you've investigated me. Liu Lang raised his lips with a wicked smile. How about we make a bet? What bet? If she insists on marrying me, you will have to call me brother whenever you see me in the future. No problem. Yi Fengchun agreed readily, but if it's just your fantasy, you must keep your mouth shut about what happened today, and you have to. What else? And you have to help me with your sister. Okay, so you're after my sister. Liu Lang stood up and said, Yi Fengchun, are you worthy of my sister? Yi Fengchun's face flushed. Liu Lang, who said I'm not worthy? Humph, just tell me whether you dare to agree or not. Sure. Liu Lang sat down again, then call Yi Weiyang now. Okay. Yi Fengchun took out his cell phone and was about to call Yi Weiyang when the door was pushed open again. A police officer walked in and said, Captain Yi, the suspect is very stubborn and refuses to say anything. What are you doing? Yi Fengchun stood up and glared at Liu Lang. Wait here first, I'll be back soon. Liu Lang shrugged indifferently, took out his mobile phone and started reading a novel to pass the time. Waited for more than 10 minutes. Yi Fengchun came back dejected. Why, that person still refuses to speak? Liu Lang asked jokingly. Yi Fengchun was so angry that he didn't think much about it and said casually, the more he refuses to talk, the more likely something is wrong. I feel more and more that this is most likely another gang crime. As if he suddenly thought of something, Yi Fengchun looked up and asked, by the way, why are you there? I'm going to see the old house. Liu Lang said truthfully. Oh, your old house. Yi Fengchun obviously knew that Liu Lang's old house was on that street and nodded. Looking up and seeing Yi Fengchun looking worried, Liu Lang put away his phone and stood up. The transcript is ready, can I leave now? You go now. Yi Fengchun did not stop him this time. He waved his hand listlessly, indicating that Liu Lang could leave. At this time, another police officer ran in. Captain Yi, it's bad that guy bit his tongue and committed suicide. Boom? Yi Fengchun was startled. Without bothering to ask Liu Lang to keep it a secret, he turned around and followed the police officer to the interrogation room. Seeing this, Liu Lang couldn't help but frown. Biting tongue to commit suicide. It seems that the case is not small. Out of curiosity, Liu Lang also followed him to the interrogation room. Several police officers held the cap-wearing suspect's mouth open to prevent him from biting off his tongue. However, the suspect seemed determined, as blood was seen oozing from the corner of his mouth. Get out of the way. Seeing this, Liu Lang knew that it would be useless even if they tried to talk back, so he shouted and walked forward and tapped the other person's neck. The next second, the strength in the suspect's mouth disappeared instantly, and he opened his mouth with a dazed look on his face. Seeing this, the police looked at Liu Lang in surprise. You, how did you do that? Yi Fengchun was also surprised, and the look he showed towards Liu Lang began to slowly change. It's just a trifle. Liu Lang came to the baseball cap. The man in the peaked cap stared at Liu Lang with a look of resentment. He opened his mouth and said in a vague voice, "Boy, I know you, you are dead." "Oh, you're still threatening me." Liu Lang laughed and raised his hand to tap the ribs of the man in the baseball cap. "Oh, it hurts so much, it hurts so much, if you have the guts, let me die." The suspect's face suddenly became distorted and he screamed continuously. All the police officers looked at Liu Lang in admiration, not understanding how Liu Lang did it. "Captain Yi, your father is so awesome." A police officer couldn't help but say. "You just can't get over this joke." Yi Fengchun regretted it so much that his intestines almost turned green. Why do you say that kind of thing when you have nothing to do? What a wise man. Chapter 17 Little Fan. Hearing the police officer's words, everyone around couldn't help but burst into laughter. All the police officers looked at Liu Lang in admiration. "Brother Liu, you are so amazing. What is your method?" Liu Lang said modestly, "Just average, third in the world." "Har har, I didn't expect you to be so humorous, Brother Liu. Are you married?" "What marriage? You don't want to introduce your sister to Brother Liu again, do you?" "So what? My sister is so cute, only someone like Brother Liu who has extraordinary skills can be worthy of her." "Come on, your sister is only 2 years old now, right?" "Ahem, so what? Am I not a little sister at the age of 2? "Humph, my parents just think I'm a bit useless. Isn't it okay for me to practice trumpet in my middle age?" Yes, you are right. But Brother Liu, can you teach me your method of tapping him so that he won't bite his tongue? I want to learn it, too. If you charge tuition, I will study no matter how much it costs." "Master. How can you call me master? You should call me Father Yi." Yes, Father Yi." Enough. Seeing that everyone was talking more and more outrageous, Yi Fengchun finally couldn't help but explode. He felt so depressed. Why does nothing good happen when you meet Liu Lang? I have worked so hard and finally become the team leader, with 5 or 6 people under me, but why does it feel like Liu Lang has captured all their hearts with only 2 visits to the bureau? Compared to this, how come I am just a piece of trash? Achoo! At the same time, Weiyang, who was busy at Weiyang Group, suddenly sneezed. She rubbed her nose and muttered, "Why do I feel like someone is implying something about me?" Police station. Accompanied by Yi Fengchun's roar. Everyone came back to their senses. The suspect was still screaming. Judging from the appearance, he was in extreme pain. Liu Lang said, "Tell me everything you know, and I can make you less miserable." The suspect couldn't stand it any longer, and nodded impatiently, I'll tell you everything." Liu Lang raised his hand and poked the suspect in the ribs again. The suspect suddenly collapsed on the interrogation chair, his whole body drenched in sweat. "Everyone, it's up to you from now on." Liu Lang turned and left. Waved goodbye without taking away a cloud. Behind him, he received another round of admiring exclamations from the crowd. Yi Fengchun chased after him. "Come on, I'll treat you to a meal." Liu Lang was surprised and said, "Oh, it's not easy." "What? You still want to call me dad?" "Liu Lang, brother, is it not okay for me to call you brother?" When Yi Fengchun heard the word father, his legs went weak. Liu Lang stopped joking. The two came to a noodle restaurant opposite the police station. Not long after, Yi Fengchun received a call saying that all the suspects had confessed. However, the situation is not optimistic. According to the suspect, they did have a gang, but he was just a low-level person. He usually just went to pick up some women, and after he made them unconscious, someone would naturally come to take them away. However, the suspect gave a name: Black Bear. It is said that this Black Bear is the boss of trafficking women in this way in the entire Tianzhu. However, few people have ever seen who Black Bear is, let alone identified him. After hanging up the phone, Yi Fengchun stared at Liu Lang with complicated feelings, but he did not hide anything and told him about the Black Bear. Then, he asked the question in his mind: Liu Lang, your file shows that you served in the army for 4 years and were in prison for 3 years, but your skills are not as simple as those of ordinary soldiers, right? Liu Lang peeled a clove of garlic and threw it into his mouth. He chewed it for a few times, picked up a mouthful of noodles and put it into his mouth. Then he raised his head and said with satisfaction, "What do you think?" Yi Fengchun's eyes widened, and he asked in surprise, "Is your information fake?" Liu Lang made a gesture to silence the crowd: "Keep a low profile, keep a low profile." Yi Fengchun's eyes suddenly lit up. Anyone who can modify police information is definitely not a simple person. As if he had forgotten the previous conflict, Yi Fengchun moved forward and was about to speak when Liu Lang suddenly burped. The rich smell rushed directly into Yi Fengchun's nose. Yi Fengchun was almost suffocated by the smell of garlic. But he is still strong enough. In order not to offend Liu Lang, he just rolled his eyes and tried to suppress the irritation. Then he smiled and said, "Liu Lang, brother, you are my brother from now on. Can you tell me which unit you are from? You are not from Longyear, are you? Changing your tune so quickly. It's too unchallenging." Liu Lang narrowed his eyes and looked at Yi Fengchun. "You also know about Dragon Fang?" "Of course." Yi Fengchun patted his chest and said, "My biggest dream in this life is to enter Dragon Fang. Not only that, I heard that the strongest person in Longyear is the god of death. He is my idol." At this point, Yi Fengchun felt a little regretful, and sighed, It's a pity. I heard that the Grim Reaper was so angry that he ignored the opposition from his superiors for the sake of his brothers and broke into the mercenary group alone, killing more than 200 people. After he came out, he disappeared. It's so fucking awesome. I feel my blood boiling when I think about it. In this life, let alone becoming a figure like the god of death, even if I can meet him once, I'll be satisfied." Liu Lang raised the corner of his mouth slightly. "You know quite a lot." "Of course." Yi Fengchun said with a look of arrogance, To be honest with you, when I was in the police academy, I met a lot of comrades, and one of them even entered Longyear. Well, it's embarrassing to say this. Although my comrade was a woman, she was better than me in every aspect at that time. Although I am a captain now, I am still far behind her." "Oh." Liu Lang couldn't help but look suspicious. "Yi Fengchun actually has a female comrade in Longyear? What's the other person's name?" "Li Taidan." Puff. Liu Lang spat out a mouthful of rice, right onto Yi Fengchun's face. Yi Fengchun stood there in a daze, picked up the napkin stiffly and wiped the noodles off his face. "Yes, I'm sorry." Liu Lang laughed awkwardly. "Well, I didn't expect a woman to have this name." I'm sorry." In Longyear, Liu Lang only knew the code name and had little idea of his real name. Moreover, judging from Yi Fengchun's appearance, he probably doesn't know the other party's code name. After all, due to the special nature of Dragon Fang, most of the people inside are kept secret. "It's okay, I'm fine." Yi Fengchun forced a smile. Compared to Garlic's magic attack just now, this kind of physical damage is nothing to worry about. "Well, you haven't really been to Longyear, have you?" Yi Fengchun's face was full of anticipation. Liu Lang did not answer, but just shook his head slightly. "I definitely cannot tell you where I have been, but I do know the god of death." "Really?" Yi Fengchun excitedly grabbed Liu Lang's arm. "Can you tell me how tall, short, fat, and thin he is? Is he a boy or a girl? By the way, how old is he? Is he married? Oh, if he is not married, I still have a younger sister." Cough cough. Liu Lang coughed. Yi Fengchun suddenly realized that Weiyang and Liu Lang had a special relationship, so he quickly changed his words and said, Har, just kidding, just kidding." Liu Lang was speechless for a while. This Yi Fengchun is actually his little fanboy? He cleared his throat and said, "Actually, the Grim Reaper is not as powerful as you think. He is just more handsome, smarter, more muscular, longer lasting, and more skilled. As he was talking, Liu Lang suddenly felt that several women around him were looking at him with ambiguous eyes. Chapter 18, Making Friends Out of Nothing. Little brother, you are not talking about yourself, right? Finally, a seductively dressed woman couldn't help herself and came to Liu Lang's desk, taking out her phone. How about we add WeChat first? Can't I hide my handsomeness anymore? Liu Lang thought to himself. However, seeing the charming woman exuding a sexy aura of "come and play with me," Liu Lang still shook his short hair. Actually, I was talking about my friend. Liu Lang shook his head without blushing or beating his heart, and refused, so, forget about WeChat. Making friends out of nothing. Avoid damage cleverly. Wow, you're indeed someone who knows the god of death, you're really amazing. Seeing that Liu Lang was so courageous and could even refuse the girl's initiative to get to know him, Yi Fengchun immediately admired him. Ever since he knew that Liu Lang knew the god of death, Yi Fengchun liked Liu Lang more and more. This should be the so-called love of the house and love of the dog, right? TSK, if you don't want to add it, then don't add it. Why are you pretending? I'm your friend. I think you are just bragging. The seductive woman immediately turned hostile. I'll go. If you can't get it, will you slander it? Liu Lang has seen many of these people before, and he smiled leisurely. It doesn't matter whether I am bragging or not. What matters is that you have been played with by at least 7 men in one day. Even a bull can't stand this frequency. TSK, if I'm right, you're a butcher, right? You, what nonsense are you talking about? The seductive woman cursed. Believe it or not, I will sue you for defamation. Slander. Liu Lang looked at the woman carefully again. Oh, sorry, I was wrong. Even an elephant can't stand it. Oh, I'm going to kill you. The woman pounced towards Liu Lang with her teeth bared. What are you doing? Yi Fengchun slapped his police ID on the table. Why, do you want to go in for tea? When the woman saw the police officer's ID, she was so scared that she turned and ran away. Yi Fengchun immediately said proudly, what do you think? I am still useless, right? Liu Lang nodded silently. Well, that woman was sold. You missed an opportunity to make a contribution. Yi Fengchun stared at Liu Lang in disbelief. You mean, she does that? Liu Lang nodded. How do you know that? I smell it. You smelled it. Yi Fengchun's eyes were as big as copper bells. Are you talking nonsense seriously? Brother Lang, do you think you have a dog nose? Liu Lang's mouth twitched. It's not easy for Yi Fengchun to grow up this big. Talking can choke people to death. If it weren't for the fact that you admire me, I, the god of death, would have slapped you so hard that you would have lost your way. Liu Lang said coldly, everyone's body fluids smell different. That woman has the body fluids of at least 7 men. What's wrong, you're not convinced? If you're not convinced, then catch her now, maybe you can lure out the black bear. Why didn't you say so earlier? Yi Fengchun suddenly seemed to have been enlightened and rushed out. Hey, didn't you treat me to a meal? I haven't paid for the noodles yet. Liu Lang shouted. However, Yi Fengchun had already disappeared. Damn, I installed it and now I have to pay for it myself. Liu Lang was speechless. But fortunately, a bowl of noodles is not expensive. With a sigh, Liu Lang paid for the noodles. Go home. But not long after they walked out of the noodle shop, Yi Fengchun came back dragging the woman. Brother Lang, I am completely convinced by you. This is an unexpected gain, a truly unexpected gain. Yi Fengchun was so excited that he almost knelt down to worship her. This woman actually did that. Moreover, when I asked her just now, she was almost knocked unconscious and taken away by someone once. Fortunately, at the critical moment, I took out a bigger one than the man, which scared the man away and I was lucky enough to escape. Ooh. Liu Lang almost vomited. He looked at the woman strangely. Damn, this is a seductive man. My 3 views. Liu Lang, I agreed to your matter with Weiyang. There are clues on this suspect. I will go back and interrogate him first. Yi Fengchun dragged the charming man back to the police station. Liu Lang was too tired to complain anymore. Thinking of those more than 7 kinds of strange smells. Vomit. Red Romance Dating Agency. Yi Weiyang directly threw the backpack containing 1 million cash in front of Su Deji. Su Deji had a strange look on her face. After she opened the backpack and looked at the red banknotes inside, her eyes suddenly curved into the shape of the banknotes. Sister-in-law, I didn't expect you to bring the money in person. Seeing that Sudeji acted like a miser, Weiyang threw the marriage agreement in front of her. Sudeji opened it and took a look, but she did not show any joy. Instead, she frowned and looked at Weiyang. What do you mean? Sudeji, we are good friends. If I marry Liu Lang, it will be a closer relationship. In the future, I will prepare to take care of my husband and children. Is that not okay? Yi Weiyang said seriously. Sudeji raised her hand and pinched Yi Weiyang's arm. Yi Weiyang screamed in pain and pushed Sudeji's hand away. What are you doing? Does it hurt? Nonsense, pinch yourself and see if it hurts. It hurts. Sudeji reached out and touched Yi Weiyang's forehead. Since it hurts, it proves that it is not a dream. But how could I not understand you? Har har, Weiyang, you are more ambitious than anyone else. Will you hand over the company? Could it be that you have a fever and are confused? You are the one who is confused because of the fever. Yi Weiyang opened Sudeji's hand again. She found that it was not easy to deceive Sudeji. Actually, what if I say that Liu Lang and I fell in love at first sight? Yi Weiyang blushed, and it felt like she was really shy. However, Sudeji always expressed doubts. Yi Weiyang, are you planning something? If Yi Weiyang hadn't been so proactive, Sudeji would definitely have brought Liu Lang together, but the benefits that were now delivered to her door made Sudeji hesitate. Hey, you're my best friend, how can I harm you? Yi Weiyang took Sudeji's hand and said coquettishly, from now on, we will be even closer, and you will be my good sister, how wonderful. By the way, to celebrate becoming your sister-in-law, I won't go back home tonight and will sleep at your place. I'm going to go upstairs and take a shower first. Yi Weiyang didn't hesitate and went straight upstairs. Sudeji stared at the marriage agreement blankly. After all the calculations, it seems that I have not suffered any loss. Could it be that that brat Liu Lang is really that powerful? Sudeji was suspicious. However, she didn't notice that there were several people sneaking around outside. The leader was Scar, who was taught a lesson by Liu Lang. Brother Dao, Yi Weiyang is in this matchmaking agency. A younger brother said. Scar asked, do you know Yi Weiyang? Of course. The younger brother was full of confidence. Yi Weiyang is very beautiful. If you see a beautiful woman, just grab her and you will be right. Scar nodded silently, taking it seriously. At this time, Sudeji came out and prepared to close the door. Scar immediately lowered his voice and said, quick, do it. Several people rushed towards Sudeji. A van quickly stopped at the door. Sudeji was caught off guard and suddenly saw someone rushing towards her, and she subconsciously wanted to dodge. But the other party was prepared. They covered Sudeji's mouth with a handkerchief and dragged Sudeji into the van. Chapter 19 Kidnapping. After Liu Lang returned to the matchmaking agency, he saw the door was ajar. He called out, sister, but no one answered. Entering the matchmaking agency, Liu Lang heard the sound of running water coming from the second floor. Hey, so you're taking a shower? Liu Lang chuckled and tiptoed to the bathroom door. Inside, there is a slim figure. Liu Lang couldn't help but recall the time when he took a bath with Sudeji when he was a child. I still remember that when Liu Lang looked at Sudeji's slightly bulging chest, he looked distressed. Sister, you have 2 mosquito bites here, does it hurt? Silly brother, this is not a mosquito bite. Sudeji knocked Liu Lang on the head. Liu Lang touched his head and became more curious. It's not a mosquito bite? Then, what bit you? It wasn't a bite. Liu Lang felt that his brain was not working well. Did you accidentally bump into it and it got swollen? Oh, I feel so bad for you, come, let me blow it for you. Silly brother, take a shower quickly, why are you talking so much nonsense? Sudeji held down Liu Lang's face and pushed him back, causing Liu Lang to pout to express his dissatisfaction. Hey, I haven't seen you for so many years. I didn't expect that your mosquito bites not only didn't go away, but got bigger. Liu Lang sighed deeply, pushed the door and walked into the bathroom. Sister, let me rub your back. Looking up, Liu Lang was stunned. Fuck, Wang Zai why are you here? Oh. Animal, close the door quickly. Yi Weiyang quickly covered her face. Oh my god, what do you mean by covering your face? Liu Lang was a little confused by Yi Weiyang's actions and slammed the door. Weiyang took her hands away from her face. I saw Liu Lang still in the bathroom. Why don't you go out? Didn't you ask me to close the door? Yi Weiyang was crazy. I told you to go out and close the door, but you locked yourself in the room. Although she had had sexual intercourse with Liu Lang, Yi Weiyang still found it difficult to accept being stared at by Liu Lang at this moment. Get out and close the door. Yi Weiyang screamed. Liu Lang complained, if you don't explain clearly, blame me. He opened the door, turned around and walked out. Before closing the door, she turned around and said, actually, your chest muscles are so underdeveloped, it's no different from looking at a man, you don't have to worry too much. Oh, I'm going to kill you. The pain in my heart was stabbed again. Yi Weiyang was about to collapse. Take a quick shower and change your clothes. Yi Weiyang walked out of the bathroom and came to the first floor. She saw Liu Lang sitting on the sofa reading a novel, but she sat down next to Liu Lang, crossed her arms over her chest, and stared at Liu Lang angrily. If looks could kill, Yi Weiyang would have cut Liu Lang into pieces by now. What's wrong? Has my handsomeness made you a feast for the eyes? Liu Lang glanced at Yi Weiyang and said casually, okay, stop looking at me. If you keep looking, I'm afraid you'll get too full. Liu Lang, your face is thicker than the city wall. Yi Weiyang was so angry that her teeth were about to break. Her chest was heaving violently. She looked up and looked around, but she didn't see Sudeji. She subconsciously asked, where's your sister? Humph, I'm going to complain to her. I was just about to ask you, I didn't see my sister when I came back, and you ran to the bathroom to take a shower. What's wrong? I was giving my sister a bath, why did you have to come over here? Yi Weiyang was extremely angry, but she remembered that Liu Lang was a wealthy man and her company was still relying on the money from him, so she simply picked up her cell phone and called Sudeji, wanting to ask where Sudeji had gone. But soon, the phone rang behind a desk not far away. Yi Weiyang walked over and saw the cell phone on the table, and the 1 million was still there untouched. Strange, where did Deji go? Why didn't she take her cell phone? Yi Weiyang muttered. Liu Lang also raised his head at this time, walked over, and just took a look. His pupils couldn't help but shrink slightly. When I came back, the door was ajar. But, if Sudeji went out, how could she not bring her cell phone and leave so much money here blatantly? Where is my sister? With years of experience, Liu Lang realized that something was wrong. I don't know. She was still here before I took a shower. Yi Weiyang shook his head and recounted what happened before. Not good. Liu Lang's heart skipped a beat. He walked outside to take a look and saw a camera at the door. He quickly walked to the computer desk to check the surveillance. Upon seeing this, Liu Lang's face suddenly became solemn. Someone kidnapped Sudeji. Seeing the contents of the surveillance video, Yi Weiyang was so scared that her pretty face turned pale. Animal, what is going on? Looking for death. Although he didn't know why someone kidnapped Sudeji, Liu Lang quickly tapped twice on the computer. Soon, many surveillance images appeared, which were all surveillance images of the van along the way. You hacked into the traffic police system. Seeing those surveillance videos, Yi Weiyang was shocked again. Soon, through surveillance, Liu Lang discovered that the van entered an auto repair shop more than 10 miles away. You stay here and look after the house. I'll be back soon. Liu Lang said this, went out, drove Sudeji's sports car, and headed straight for the auto repair shop. On the streets at night, Liu Lang drove the car at almost 200 miles per hour. After Liu Lang left, Yi Weiyang came back to his senses. She quickly picked up her phone, called Yi Fengchun, and said in a tearful voice, Brother, Deji has been kidnapped. She is at a car repair shop. Liu Lang went there by himself. You should go there quickly. As he was talking, Yi Weiyang collapsed weakly on the chair. Although she and Sudeji both have their own plans, they are the kind of people who can normally cheat each other, but if someone is in danger, they will definitely risk their lives for each other. Seeing that something happened to Sudeji, Yi Weiyang's worry was genuine. Deji, please don't get into any trouble. I just want to grow the company. I don't have any other intentions. If you come back safely this time, I will definitely tell you everything. Yi Weiyang murmured. In the auto repair shop, Sudeji slowly woke up. She found herself thrown on a bed. 5 or 6 men around were staring at her with eager eyes. Who are you? Sudeji tried hard to keep herself calm, but the trembling in her voice revealed her panic-stricken heart at the moment. Scar laughed grimly and looked at Sudeji unscrupulously. No wonder Weiyang has always wanted to get you. TSK, with your looks and figure, if I can play with you once, it will be worth it to save me 10 years of life. Weiyang. Sudeji's pupils shrank. Are you the people of that bastard Weiyang? Hey, Weiyang, let's not waste any more time talking nonsense. He asked us to send you to his villa, but you are too beautiful. Don't worry, let the brothers play with you first and then send you over. Scar licked his lips and slowly walked towards Sudeji. Chapter 20. Is he the god of death? The woman was wearing a leather jacket, special leather boots and sunglasses. As soon as she got off the car, she gave people a heroic feeling. This woman is none other than Rose. Rose obviously didn't expect to run into Yifeng Chun here, and she subconsciously called out, "Brother Chun." Yifeng Chun was inexplicably embarrassed when he heard this nickname that he hadn't heard for many years. Ahem, Taidan, you are not. Halfway through the conversation, Yifeng Chun saw Meigui's face suddenly darken, and immediately realized that he could not reveal the other party's identity, so he quickly stopped talking. Brother Chun, I'll take over here. You can take your people back first. Rose took out her ID and waved it in front of Yifeng Chun. Official business. Yifeng Chun looked at the unique document belonging to Longyear, swallowed his saliva, and his eyes were full of envy. As a police officer, Yifeng Chun naturally knew what this certificate represented. As for the people of Longyear, I must cooperate unconditionally. Yes. Yifeng Chun bowed directly, turned around and left quickly with his men. However, when getting in the car, Yifeng Chun still took a look inside the auto repair shop, and saw that Taidan, the classmate whom he had looked up to, actually came in front of Liu Lang and saluted him. After that salute, Taidan stood with his hands hanging down, as if he was accepting a reprimand from his superior. Is he one of Longyear's men? When Yifeng Chun saw this scene, he felt his heartbeat slow down by half a beat. When Yifeng Chun heard Liu Lang say that he knew the god of death, a bold idea suddenly popped up in his mind. Could he be the god of death? Just thinking about this possibility, Yifeng Chun suddenly felt the hairs on his body stand on end. Taking another look at the corpses on the ground, Yifeng Chun shook his head vigorously. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. That guy looks harmless. Even if he is very good at fighting, how could he be the notorious Grim Reaper that even the mercenaries are terrified of? I'll leave this to you. Is that okay? Liu Lang looked at Rose coldly, their hostility in his body slowly dissipated with Scar's death. Rose dared not disobey. The boss said that the orders of the god of death represent his orders. I must obey unconditionally. Har, that's a nice thing to say. Liu Lang's eyes suddenly became sharp, staring straight at Rose. Rose, has the account that the old man gave me been tampered with? Rose felt uncomfortable being stared at by Liu Lang, and she didn't dare to look him in the eye. Captain Death, I don't understand what you mean. Humph, I've worked for Dragon Fang for so many years, and I think I've made a lot of money, but do you think I believe it if I made 1 billion? Liu Lang had a mocking look on his face. Tell the old man that I came back only to live a carefree life with my sister and don't want to be disturbed again. But you seem to be determined to involve me in the underworld. Rose shuddered, raised her head stiffly, and said in shock, Captain Death, you guessed it. Liu Lang shook his head slowly and sighed. In fact, I guessed it from the beginning when I entered Atlantis. That weird old man has so many secrets. I just pretended not to know them. But when a person dies, his debts are forgiven. Even if the old man had sinned a lot during his lifetime, he spent 17 years repenting. Isn't that old man Longyear thinking of using my identity to completely subvert the underground world? Tell him that the underground world is far more complicated than he imagined. Also, if you have anything to say, it's best to speak directly to me. Don't try to use me in a roundabout way. Otherwise, don't blame me for turning against you. After saying this, Liu Lang drove away. Rose stood there in a daze. My whole body was drenched in cold sweat again. She wanted to move, but found that because of Liu Lang's powerful momentum, her legs had lost the ability to move. Why do I get wet every time I see the Grim Reaper? After a long while, Rose took a deep breath and encouraged herself secretly. No, next time, I must hold on. He took out his cell phone and called Long Tsangchung. Boss, the god of death knows. Dating agency. Su Deji had been sent back by Yi Fengchun a long time ago. Seeing Liu Lang coming back, Su Deji hurried forward, tightly grasped Liu Lang's hand, and asked worriedly, "Boy, are you okay?" Liu Lang smiled and said, "It's okay, sister, what can happen to me? Did you kill all those people?" Su Deji seemed to have used up all her strength to ask this question. Liu Lang said calmly, "They deserve to die if they dare to provoke me." Can. Don't worry, sis. They all deserved it. I happen to have a comrade who is investigating Scar and the others recently. Scar is involved in some issues. Even if I don't take action, my comrades will. So, even if I kill them this time, I won't be in any trouble. Liu Lang said nonsense. Su Deji was skeptical, really? Really? Liu Lang spread his hands, "Look, if I lied, can I still come back?" Seeing Yi Fengchun secretly looking at him, Liu Lang pointed at Yi Fengchun and said, "If you don't believe me, ask him. He's a policeman, he can't lie, right?" Su Deji immediately shifted her gaze to Yi Fengchun. Yi Fengchun was stunned, and quickly nodded and said, "Yes, yes, yes, Deji, it's such a big deal, I can't be partial to you even if I want to. It's okay, it's really okay." Su Deji breathed a sigh of relief, sat down on the sofa, and finally she relaxed. Yi Weiyang stepped forward and embraced Su Deji, her voice choking, "Sister Deji, you scared me to death. I thought I would never see you again. I was wrong. I shouldn't have lied to you." Su Deji was relieved when she heard half of it, but when she heard the second half, she turned her head and looked at Yi Weiyang. "You lied to me." Yi Weiyang dodged her gaze. "Actually, I want to marry Liu Lang not because he slept with me, but because he is a rich man." Rich man? Su Deji became more and more confused. "What do you mean?" "That's right." Yi Weiyang hesitated for a moment, but still told Liu Lang that there was 1 billion in cash in his card. Boom. After Su Deji heard this, she turned around and glared at Liu Lang. "Good boy, you got rich but you didn't tell your sister. Your sister is still working hard to save money for you, come here." Liu Lang suddenly felt overwhelmed. "Sister, actually, this is something I slept with a rich lady once, and she insisted on giving it to me, but I didn't want it." "Sleep on it, 1 billion. Or the woman is the one who pays for it. Do you think you are Golden Rooster? Bar, you've blown up all the cows in the world." Yi Weiyang couldn't help but complain in her heart. "I don't care where the money came from, hand it over immediately." Su Deji didn't care about that. Liu Lang was very depressed and glared at Yi Weiyang. "If you have small breasts, don't talk. Is it easy for this god of death to save some private money?" As a result, all of them were sold by this little steamed bun. "Hey, what's wrong with my small breasts?" Yi Weiyang was immediately furious. "Even if my breasts are small, at least my hard drive doesn't have hundreds of GB of storage, so I don't watch movies secretly in the middle of the night." Brush. Su Deji's gaze pierced Yi Weiyang like a knife. "Weiyang, what's wrong with watching movies? It's better than some people eating papaya every day without any effect, right?" As he spoke, he deliberately puffed out his chest. Chapter 21 Zhao Xiaohei. "You?" Yi Weiyang's face turned blue and purple. "Su Deji, who are you talking about eating papaya? Whoever I tell knows it himself." Su Deji curled her lips and grabbed Liu Lang. "By the way, little brat, since you are rich now, I will introduce you to a better girl next time. I guarantee that she has big breasts. In the future, your children will enjoy the delicious food. Let's not marry someone, otherwise my eldest nephew will definitely go hungry in the future." Yi Weiyang jumped up. "Su Deji, you are making a veiled accusation." Su Deji snorted coldly. "Yi Weiyang, you are not much better. You actually covered my brother's money. If it weren't for the fact that your company is still worth some money, do you think I would let Xiaolang marry you?" Yi Weiyang's eyes widened. "Great, it seems that you are plotting against me too. Break off our friendship." Su Deji crossed her arms and said disdainfully, "If we break up, then we break up. Who's afraid of who?" As they were talking, the two best friends were about to start fighting. Liu Lang was speechless for a while. "I'm still here, and both of you are plotting against me, could you please be a little more reserved?" Can you let me get a word in?" Liu Lang spoke. The two women turned their heads at the same time. "Get out of the way. If you don't allow me to do it, then don't do it." Why are you so fierce? Liu Lang retreated quickly. If you can't afford to offend, can't you just hide away? Yi Fengchun didn't dare to stay any longer. He was really afraid of being affected by the war, so he quickly followed Liu Lang and ran out. After Liu Lang went out, he took out a cigarette and put it in his mouth. His eyes were deep, which was completely different from his state in front of Su Deji just now. If Liu Lang just now was a little lamb, now, Liu Lang is an old fox. When it comes to temperament, Brother Lang has captured it perfectly. Yi Fengchun was a little dazed, and became more determined to bring Liu Lang and Yi Weiyang together. After a slight hesitation, Yi Fengchun came forward and said flatteringly, "Brother Lang, can you teach me how to make 10 billion by sleeping with a woman?" Liu Lang turned his head and glared at Yi Fengchun. Actually, I wouldn't agree to it even if it was 10 billion. Your sister is the only one in my heart. Yi Fengchun quickly changed his words, thinking of his classmate Li Taidan, and asked with admiration, "Brother Lang, do you know Taidan?" "I an egg." Liu Lang already knew that Li Taidan was Rose, and nodded silently. Yi Fengchun immediately became alert. "Brother Lang, Taidan is from Longyear, I think she." "Don't ask questions you shouldn't ask." Liu Lang took a deep puff of his cigarette, threw it on the ground, and stomped it out with his foot. "I haven't finished my work yet. Lift your foot and walk forward." "Brother Lang, what are you going to do?" "Kill." Liu Lang took out his mobile phone, scanned a shared bicycle, got on the bike and disappeared into the darkness. Looking at the direction where Liu Lang disappeared, Yi Fengchun's eyes were filled with indescribable admiration. Brother Lang is indeed Brother Lang, he even makes killing people seem like an understatement. Wait, Yi Fengchun suddenly shuddered. Damn, what did Brother Lang just say? Kill? Nothing's going to happen again, is it? Yi Fengchun wanted to chase Liu Lang, but found that Liu Lang had disappeared. He hurried back to the matchmaking agency. "Su Deji, your brother." Just when he was halfway through his words, Yi Fengchun saw Su Deji and Yi Weiyang facing each other, whispering to each other and laughing from time to time. What the hell? What's going on? Didn't the two of them have a huge argument just now? How come it got better in just such a short time? Brother, what's up? Yi Weiyang raised her head, as if the previous unpleasantness had never happened. Yi Fengchun was still a little confused. Brother Lang. What Brother Lang? Yi Weiyang asked puzzledly. It's Liu Lang. You call him brother. Yi Weiyang felt a little awkward. She had just reached an agreement with Su Deji that she would give Su Deji 1 million yuan, and Liu Lang must appear at the first time when she needed him in the future. As for Liu Lang's money and Weiyang group, no one is allowed to lay hands on them. Because of this, Liu Lang sometimes has to play the role of Yi Weiyang's man. By this calculation, he is Yi Fengchun's brother-in-law. You are both my brother-in-law and Brother Lang, how can I settle the matter with you? Yi Weiyang rolled her eyes, put aside her messy thoughts, and took Su Deji's arm affectionately. Brother, Sister Deji was frightened tonight, I will stay here for the time being. Okay, I'll talk to Mom. Yi Fengchun was eager for Yi Weiyang and Liu Lang to develop more feelings for each other, so he agreed and quickly said goodbye and left. It's more important to find Liu Lang as soon as possible. At the same time, in a luxurious villa, Weiyang filled the bed with flowers. The camera was set up in the corner. He leaned on his crutches, made sure everything was ready, and nodded with satisfaction. Yi Weiyang, are you Weiyang? Tonight, not only will you belong to me, but you will also be ruined. Weiyang's eyes flashed with fanaticism. Wait back, after this young master sleeps with you, I'll see if you dare to say no to me. Take out your cell phone. I found out that there is still no news from Scar. Weiyang couldn't help feeling a little annoyed. It's such a slow process to do such a small thing. Dial Scar's number directly. However, the phone reminded me to turn off the phone. Why is it turned off? Weiyang cursed. Just as I was about to hit it again, I suddenly felt a chill on my back. When I turned around, I saw someone standing behind me. You, how did you get in? Cold sweat instantly broke out on Weiyang's forehead. Not only is my villa equipped with cameras, but it also has infrared detection devices. If someone comes in, it will definitely sound the alarm. Weiyang, you should never, ever touch my sister. Liu Lang had a cold expression on his face and walked towards Weiyang step by step. Zhao Yang's pupils contracted. You, don't come over here. Whoosh. Before Zhao Yang could finish speaking, Liu Lang raised his hand and tapped the other's neck. Next second, Zhao Yang fell to the ground. Liu Lang threw Zhao Yang onto the bed. He took out a silver needle and stabbed it into the other person's lower abdomen. The next day, a shocking piece of news appeared on the internet. Zhao Yang, the second son of the Zhao group, died on the bed in his own villa. Moreover, he was completely naked. The on-site investigation results showed that death was caused by cerebral ischemia due to excessive self-indulgence. Impossible. Seeing this result, a middle-aged man threw the autopsy report directly into the face of the person in front of him. It's not like Zhao Yang has no women. How could he do that kind of thing? The middle-aged man was Zhao Yang's father, Zhao Bancheng. Over the years, Zhao Bancheng has gradually retreated behind the scenes and handed over the Zhao group to Zhao Yang. Zhao Yang was also very efficient and managed the Zhao group in an orderly manner. Zhao Bancheng had long heard about Zhao Yang's life of debauchery outside. But isn't it normal for a rich man to do this? Therefore, Zhao Bancheng never took it to heart. He even knew that Zhao Yang had killed several girls. However, in the end, everything was settled by Zhao Bancheng. At this moment, Zhao Bancheng suddenly learned that Zhao Yang was dead. In addition to being sad, his first reaction was that Zhao Yang was murdered by someone. Dad, I heard that Xiaoyan was going to get engaged to Yi Weiyang from Weiyang Group a few days ago, but it ended up in vain. Do you think this has anything to do with Yi Weiyang? The person who spoke was a woman. This girl, named Zhao Xiaohei, is the daughter of Zhao Bancheng and the sister of Zhao Yang. If you first hear this name, you can't associate it with a woman. However, Zhao Xiaohei is not dark at all, and her skin is soft and delicate. She looks to be about 30 years old, with almond-shaped eyes, a charming appearance, and half-exposed breasts. In Chenzhou, Zhao Xiaohei is a famous socialite. Even the fact that the Zhao family has been able to reach its current state is largely due to Zhao Xiao's ability to roam among some big shots in the dark. Yi Weiyang. Hearing Yi Weiyang's name, Zhao Bancheng's face showed greed and he narrowed his eyes slightly. You mean, Yi Qingqing's daughter? Chapter 22 Woof Woof Woof. Zhao Xiaohei knew that his father had pursued Yi Qingcheng in his early years. But Yi Qingcheng had a strong personality and once almost castrated Zhao Bancheng, which frightened Zhao Bancheng half to death. He never dared to have any thoughts about Yi Qingcheng again. Now that many years have passed and the shadow of those years has slowly faded, Zhao Bancheng's mind can't help but become active again. Dad, Yi Qingcheng and Yi Weiyang are both bitches. Leave this matter to me. If Zhao Yang's death is really related to them, I will never let them go. Zhao Xiaohei said, gritting his teeth. Zhao Bancheng nodded. Go ahead. The second floor of the matchmaking agency. Su Deji slept in the same bed with Yi Weiyang. Su Deji and the other two girls slept very soundly during this sleep. Around 10 o'clock in the morning, a strong aroma of food came from the direction of the kitchen. Su Deji opened her eyes, stretched, and found that Yi Weiyang beside her was left with only her underwear, with a smile on her lips, as if she was dreaming about something. Su Deji got up, put on her loose pajamas, and walked out. Come to the kitchen. There was a figure busy there. Hey, little boy, you can cook. Su Deji leaned against the kitchen door, quite surprised. From childhood to adulthood, it was Su Deji who served Liu Lang, but now that Liu Lang is back, he seems like a different person. Not only does he become smooth-talking, but he can also make billions in one sleep. This money is worth it even if it means sleeping with a dinosaur. Not only that, that killing skill is just too cool. Sister, are you up? Liu Lang turned his head to look at Su Deji, and his eyes narrowed immediately. The clothes Su Deji wore were translucent. The most important thing is that it is backlighting. TSK, that's a bit dazzling. As if she noticed something was wrong with Liu Lang's eyes, Su Deji lowered her head and couldn't help but giggled. Why, is it that half covering is very tempting? Hee, little brat, I'm your sister, you can look if you want, we're a family, you don't have to be polite. Ahem, sister, what are you talking about? Liu Lang was immediately subdued by Su Deji, and quickly brought the prepared food to the table. Since you are up, hurry up and wash up and come over to eat. It smells so good. Su Deji bent down and took a deep breath, and the magnificent waves on her chest fell into Liu Lang's eyes. My elder sister is so grown up now, why is she still as unreserved in front of me as she was when she was a child? Liu Lang was speechless for a while. But I like it. R. Suddenly, Yi Weiyang's scream was heard from the bedroom. Su Deji and Liu Lang were both stunned, looked at each other, and quickly rushed into the bedroom. Weiyang, what's wrong? Su Deji asked anxiously. Yi Weiyang held the phone, disbelief written on her face. Zhaoyang is dead. I just checked my phone and it was full of messages from him. Yi Weiyang didn't notice that she was not wearing any clothes at all. She jumped up from the bed and danced with excitement. Zhaoyang is dead, har har, Sister Deji, look, this is the best news I have ever heard. Zhaoyang is dead. Su Deji was very surprised. She snatched Yi Weiyang's phone, looked down, and suddenly looked incredible. It's true that evil will be punished. People like that deserve to die. Liu Lang, why are you here? At this time, Yi Weiyang also noticed that Liu Lang was staring at her. She immediately realized something was wrong and looked down. Oh, you rascal, what are you looking at? He turned around and got into bed. Liu Lang shook his head. My sister doesn't even treat me as an outsider. You are just a little kid, but you are yelling so loudly, as if I have never seen you before. Sister Deji, why don't you do something about it? Yi Weiyang wrapped herself in a quilt, looking resentful. Su Deji walked over and patted Yi Weiyang on the shoulder. Weiyang, you've already seen it, so what's the harm in seeing it a few more times? Hee, we're family, so there's no need to be shy. Both you and your brother are not good people. Yi Weiyang suddenly realized that she had fallen into a den of thieves. Okay, hurry up and get dressed. Xiaolang has made breakfast. Let's eat together. Su Deji smiled ambiguously. Yi Weiyang glared at Liu Lang. What kind of meal can he make? Humph, even dogs won't eat it. 10 minutes later. Yi Weiyang came to the dining table. Looking at the table full of breakfast, my eyes widened. Such as scrambled eggs with tomatoes, mapo tofu, sea cucumber with bones, and stir-fried vegetables. Although they are all ordinary dishes, their aroma and color seem to whet the taste buds. You did all this? Yi Weiyang swallowed, somewhat incredulous. Normally, due to work reasons, Yi Weiyang would just have some bread for breakfast. How could she have seen such a sumptuous breakfast? The most important thing is, just by smelling it, it seems to be no worse than what I have eaten in 5-star restaurants. Su Deji didn't hesitate to sit down, picked up the chopsticks and took a bite, her face immediately filled with intoxication. Great job, Xiaolang. I didn't expect your cooking skills are so good now. Har har. From now on, I'll leave the cooking at home to you. Liu Lang's mouth twitched, and he glanced at Yi Weiyang. Sister, you can eat, but she has to pay for it. Hey, what do you mean? Yi Weiyang sat down angrily. Why should I pay? Humph, I have already paid the 1 million, the meal money can be deducted from it. Besides, you have 10 billion, do you still need this little money from me? He picked up the chopsticks and took a bite. Next second. Yi Weiyang's eyes suddenly lit up. It's so delicious. This is simply the best dish I have ever eaten. It's 100 times better than what my mom makes. Weiyang, you seemed to say just now that even dogs wouldn't eat the food Xiaolang cooked. Su Deji looked at Yi Weiyang wolfing down the food and couldn't help but tease her. What? Yi Weiyang didn't even look up, shoveling rice into her mouth frantically, and mumbled while eating, oh, even dogs won't eat it, woof woof. After dinner, Yi Weiyang left in a hurry. She has an important meeting today. Su Deji changed her clothes and held her chin up, watching Liu Lang with his head down cleaning the dishes, with a look of satisfaction on her face. Oh, Xiaolang, it's great that you're back. Not only will we have food to eat, but we won't have to wash the dishes anymore. Sister, I cooked, can you not wash the dishes? Liu Lang said with a sad face. How can that be possible? My hands are so delicate, and they will become ugly if I wash the dishes too much. Su Deji said, however, next time, I can let Weiyang wash the dishes, and it will be deducted from her meal money. I think it's okay. Liu Lang nodded in agreement and looked up to see Feng Chun standing at the door. Hey, Chun Ji, why are you here? Liu Lang's face was immediately filled with smiles. He walked over and enthusiastically pulled Yi Fengchun into the kitchen, pointing at the dishes and chopsticks. You've come just in time, come and wash the dishes. The call of Chun Ji made Yi Fengchun feel creepy. Yi Fengchun said with a face full of resistance, "Brother Lang, I came to see you for something. Why do you want me to wash the dishes?" Liu Lang whispered, "We can talk about it later if you have anything to say. This is a chance for you to show off in front of my sister." "What's wrong? Don't you like my sister?" "Oh, yes, I'll brush it. Yi Fengchun quickly rolled up his sleeves and grinned at Su Deji. "Deji, you and Brother Lang go watch TV for a while, leave this to me." Chapter 23, Lust. Looking at Yi Fengchun, who was busy and trying hard in the kitchen, Liu Lang said, "Sister, this Yi Fengchun seems to like you." "Like?" Su Deji didn't even raise her head while applying nail polish. "Apart from handling cases, he doesn't know how to like someone. Har, in my opinion, his liking is just lust." Liu Lang was stunned. "My sister is indeed an experienced driver. Then you don't plan to give him a chance?" Liu Lang asked again. Su Deji raised her head and glanced at Liu Lang. "Stinky boy, I will never marry in this life. I will always stay with you, unless one day you get tired of me." Liu Lang was moved and quickly interrupted, "Sister, how could I be tired of you?" Har, of course I know you won't get tired of me." Su Deji said seriously, "When are you going to transfer your 1 billion to my account?" Let's wait until the bank opens today." Liu Lang originally wanted to postpone it for as long as possible, but looking at the situation, he can't postpone it any longer. Fortunately, he still had the 800,000 yuan he had extorted from Scar. "Well, that's enough to take a while." "That's fine. I'm waiting." Su Deji smiled and said, "Xiao Lang, you should understand that a man will spend money recklessly when he has it. I'm saving it for you." Okay, sister, whatever you say is what I'll do." Liu Lang lowered his eyebrows and said in a pleasant voice. Su Deji was very satisfied with Liu Lang's performance. She lowered her head again and said as if chatting, "Do you know why Yi Weiyang's funds had problems? Didn't they say there was something wrong with the cosmetic product? Then do you know what cosmetics are?" Liu Lang shook his head. "A beauty cream." Su Deji said, "I have tried that beauty cream. Although it may have flaws, it will not disfigure the face. Not only that, the effect of that beauty cream is amazing. Once it is launched on the market, it will definitely set off a global sensation." "Oh." Liu Lang heard something behind Su Deji's words. "Sister, can this beauty cream make people younger?" Har, at least in terms of wrinkle removal, it is simply incomparable to any cosmetics on the market today. Liu Lang was surprised. "Sister, do you mean that someone is deliberately targeting Weiyang Group? Profits are so tempting." Su Deji continued, "Once that beauty cream is on the market, the profits will definitely reach tens of billions. With such high profits, no one can resist the temptation. However, fortunately, not many people know about this beauty cream now, but I am worried that someone will do anything to get the formula of the beauty cream." Liu Lang frowned, waiting for Su Deji's next words. "So, I want you to protect Weiyang temporarily. I took 1 million from her anyway. In the next 3 months, you will be his personal bodyguard and driver. What do you think?" Su Deji raised her head and admired her nails while saying, "Don't worry about her skills. I will train her slowly. Next time if you have a chance you can give it a try. She probably won't just lie down on the bed and forget about it." Cough. Liu Lang was choked by Su Deji's words. Yi Weiyang told her elder sister everything. "Xiao Lang, you're fine for now anyway, I've agreed to it for you. You can go to work after I send my car to be repaired." Su Deji didn't care whether Liu Lang agreed or not. "However, I will find you a beautiful girl during this period of time. Our Xiao Lang can't hang himself on a tree." "Yes, my elder sister has already arranged everything clearly." "Okay, sister, whatever you say is what it is." The two chatted for a while longer. Yi Fengchun had already washed the dishes, and he came to Su Deji and said, "Deji, the dishes are done, do you want to check them?" "Oh." Su Deji's reaction was indifferent, which made Yi Fengchun feel like he had punched cotton. Scratching his head in dismay, Yi Fengchun could only say, Brother Lang, shall we go out and talk?" "Okay." Liu Lang stood up, said hello to Su Deji, drove the damaged Maserati straight to the 4S store. There was no other way. Last night, in a hurry to save Su Deji, I rushed all over the place and knocked down several people in the repair shop. The front of the car was already deformed. Brother Lang, am I stupid? Yi Fengchun asked with a depressed look on his face as he got in the car. Liu Lang pretended to be confused. What's wrong? Why do you say that? Why do I feel like your sister is not interested in me? Yi Fengchun was eager to learn. I see how easy it is for you to pick up girls, but why do I feel so stupid? Don't say that about yourself. Yi Fengchun seemed to be encouraged. Brother Lang, do you mean that I am not stupid? Liu Lang shook his head. No, you misunderstood. To you, using the word stupid to describe yourself is too insulting. Yi Fengchun's expectant face suddenly collapsed. No wonder my mother said that even if she threw me on the bed with a woman, I wouldn't be able to find the right place. It seems that I am really stupid when it comes to relationships. Damn, Auntie is really talented. Liu Lang exclaimed, then smiled playfully. But I can teach you. How about it? Do you want to learn? Yi Fengchun nodded vigorously. I do. Okay, help me with something. You say. Help me find someone. Liu Lang thought for a moment and said, the person's name is Zhang Xiaohua. She used to be my next-door neighbor. She also has a daughter named Lin Yunyang. Help me find where they live now. When his parents suddenly disappeared, Liu Lang had no clues at all, so he could only ask their former neighbors to see if they had any clues. Yi Fengchun readily agreed. Okay, leave it to me. But there is one thing I want to ask you. What is it? Does Zhao Yang's death have anything to do with you? After asking this question, Yi Fengchun stared at Liu Lang closely, as if he was afraid that Liu Lang would answer yes. Yes. As a result, Liu Lang did not hide it at all. Yi Fengchun's pupils shrank. Did you really kill him? In his opinion, even if Liu Lang was the murderer, he would never be so blatant. You. What? So what if I admit it? Liu Lang sneered. Are there any clues proving that I killed him? Har, forget about the clues. There's not even a trace of me at the scene. Officer Yi, you don't want to arrest me, do you? Yi Fengchun was stunned. He didn't expect Liu Lang to be so arrogant. However, thinking of Zhao Yang's autopsy report, Yi Fengchun let out a long sigh and said solemnly, Brother Lang, the Zhao family will definitely not let this go. Although I know that the Zhao family has done many evil things, they have remained at large all these years. Hey, now there is another missing woman case, which makes us very anxious. Speaking of the case, Yi Fengchun scratched his hair irritably. That fake man did provide some clues, but it's probably not easy to find the boss behind the scenes. However, the other party did say that the suspect might be in a bar called Wild Rose. At that time, he met the suspect in that bar. At this point, Yi Fengchun stared at Liu Lang eagerly. Brother Lang, since you are so awesome, how about going to the bar with me later? Chapter 24 Routine. What? You want me to help you solve the case? Liu Lang saw through Yi Fengchun's plan at a glance. Yi Fengchun clasped his hands together, looking hopeful. Brother Lang, the higher-ups required that this case be solved within 10 days, but now half of the time has passed and we only found a few clues. If the case is not solved by then, it doesn't matter if I am fired as the captain, the key murderer will still be at large. Besides, we are all family, it's just a favor. This guy is good at playing the emotional card. Liu Lang parked the car on the side of the road and said, Captain Yi, please don't try to get too close to me. Although your sister and I are husband and wife in reality, we are not husband and wife in name only, so we are not considered a family. Besides, I haven't paid for the noodles I ate last time. Yi Fengchun quickly took out a handful of crumpled bills from his pocket and handed them to Liu Lang. Hey, this is all I have, and I'm usually the poorest one in my family. Weiyang is indeed rich, but her money is hers, and I am embarrassed to ask for it. However, she often gives money to my mother for playing mahjong. My mother feels sorry for me and occasionally gives me some. How about you just make do with it for now? Looking at Yi Fengchun's pitiful appearance, Liu Lang was speechless. My elder sister really sees things clearly. This guy doesn't seem to know anything except solving cases. It seems that he and his sister are not suitable at all. I have to find an opportunity to make him give up. Forget it, you're poorer than me. Liu Lang pushed the change back, but I have to make it clear that if I really help you go to the bar, you have to pay for the drinks. No problem. Yi Fengchun immediately grinned. There is funding for this kind of official investigation. Liu Lang was completely speechless. Okay, get out of the car now. After driving Yi Fengchun out of the car, Liu Lang went to the bank first and prepared to transfer the 1 billion to Sudeji. After the bank president got the news, he rushed out immediately and specially arranged two beautiful female employees to accompany Liu Lang to handle business. During the business process, the two beautiful staff members were very attentive. He was just short of pinning Liu Lang to the ground. Watching the string of zeros being transferred away, Liu Lang was in no mood to play. He just took advantage of the situation and left. Afterwards, Liu Lang delivered Sudeji's car to their 4S shop. Seeing a motorcycle shop next to it, he walked over. Sir, you want to buy a car? When the female salesperson saw Liu Lang coming out of the Maserati store, she immediately approached him enthusiastically. Yeah. Liu Lang nodded. After looking around, he quickly picked out a motorcycle and asked, "How much is this motorcycle?" "Sir, how about I introduce you to the performance of this car first?" The saleswoman was all smiles and very polite. "I asked how much the car cost." "No, sir, that's not the right approach. What's going on? Why did another routine pop up?" Liu Lang was puzzled. This female salesperson looks young and pretty, but why does she seem to be a bit slow in the brain? The saleswoman explained, "It's like this, sir. According to our training process, I will first introduce a car to you. You pretend to think it's too expensive. Then I pretend to refuse and ask the manager for a price reduction. I reluctantly reduce the price by a few hundred yuan. You reluctantly accept it and say you want to give me some gifts and maintenance. Then we..." Stop. Liu Lang was amused by the saleswoman's honesty. "You don't need to introduce yourself. The previous procedures are all included. How much is it?" The saleswoman was almost crying. "Sir, I can't sell it like this." This. Liu Lang looked at the saleswoman and saw that she was so anxious that her face turned red. He couldn't help but smile bitterly. "Okay, you introduce it to me first, and then follow your process again." "Okay." The saleswoman was finally satisfied, and then introduced the motorcycle again as if reciting a book, and finally said, "Now, you can ask how much it costs." "How much?" 180,000. Swipe the card. Liu Lang took out his bank card. The saleswoman was anxious. "No, you think it's too expensive." Liu Lang was completely convinced. He dragged the saleswoman to the cashier, forced her to sign the contract, and finally dragged her to pick up the car. Only then did he leave feeling satisfied. The only one left was the disheveled female salesperson still standing at the door, dazed. "Okay, Yunyang, that man looks rich. He didn't even bargain for the price. Could it be that he likes you?" A middle-aged female salesperson came over and said jokingly. "Jiang Jie, what are you talking about?" Lin Yunyang blushed and stamped her feet. "I don't know him at all, but Jie, didn't they say there were procedures during the training?" "That Mr. Liu, how come?" "Silly girl, you don't understand the world of rich people at all." Sister Jiang exclaimed, So, being tall, rich and handsome is all a lie. As long as you are rich, everything else is bullshit. If I hadn't been deceived by your brother-in-law's sweet words, I would have found a rich man at least." "Sister Jiang, it seems that Mr. Liu is not only rich, but also tall and handsome." Lin Yunyang muttered. Sister Jiang's eyes lit up. "Yunyang, this is an opportunity. Isn't he going to come and get the license in a couple of days?" When the time comes, you have to ask for a contact number. Remember, happiness is in your own hands." Lin Yunyang's face turned even redder. "In fact, I already have someone in my heart." Sister Jiang stared at Lin Yunyang with a gossipy look on her face. "Are you in love with someone?" "Yeah." Lin Yunyang nodded vigorously. "I used to have a brother from my neighbor's house, but I haven't seen him for more than 10 years. I was only a teenager at that time, and now I have forgotten what that brother looked like. But my mother said that if I were to marry, I'd marry someone like him, because I'd be very happy." Liu Lang rode his beloved little motorcycle and arrived at Weiyang Group at lightning speed. As soon as I reached the door, I was stopped by the security guard. "Who is it?" The security guard stared at Liu Lang with a ferocious look on his face. Liu Lang took off his helmet. The security guard immediately looked respectful. Brother Liu, why are you here?" The security guard was the same Chen Bing from before. Seeing the slap mark on Chen Bing's face, Liu Lang frowned. "What's wrong with your face?" Chen Bing said dejectedly, "Oh, don't mention it. Before you came, a woman came with 2 black bodyguards. I just tried to stop her and got slapped. Damn, it's really bad luck." "Woman?" Liu Lang asked doubtfully, "Who?" "It seems his name is Zhao Xiaohei, and is here to see Mr. Yi." "Where are the people?" "I've already entered Mr. Yi's office." Liu Lang nodded and patted Chen Bing on the shoulder. "Work hard. Also, I will come here often in the future. If you have any questions, just come to me directly." "Yes, Brother Liu, take care." Chen Bing saluted and immediately opened the door to let Liu Lang in. A security guard came up to Chen Bing and asked suspiciously, "Captain Chen, who is this guy? Why are you so polite to him? What do you know?" "This guy is Mr. Yi's man. He is the great man who bought the shares held by Vice President Feng and his men for $1. Oh my God! My idol!" The young security guard immediately exclaimed, his eyes full of admiration. Chapter 25 Women Don't Keep Dogs. President's Office. Weiyang had just finished a meeting and her eyes were a little hard to keep open. "It's all the fault of that stinky woman Su Deji. Humph, she actually seduced me into watching that kind of movie last night. I slept in the same bed with Su Deji last night, and as a result, I was seduced by her and couldn't help but watch some action movies." Seeing this, Weiyang felt as if a new world had opened up. She finally understood what Liu Lang meant by just lying down on the bed. It turns out that there are so many ways to play it. Weiyang was a little shy at first. But as I watched, I couldn't help but think of Liu Lang. How could I be defiled by that stinky woman Su Deji? Weiyang shook her head vigorously, trying to get rid of those inappropriate images in her mind, but the more she tried to get rid of them, the more they lingered. Just as she was secretly cursing herself for having unknowingly turned into a slutty woman, the door was pushed open. 3 people appeared at the door. Leading the group was a woman dressed seductively, with wavy hair and red lips, who walked up to Weiyang with an arrogant look on her face. Behind the woman were 2 tall black men. "Who are you?" Weiyang frowned slightly. "Are you Weiyang?" Zhao Xiaohei came to Weiyang's desk, held the table with both hands, leaned forward, and the huge breasts on his chest almost broke free. Weiyang swallowed. "I feel inexplicably inferior. This woman is so wealthy. How come it's bigger than Su Deji's? No, why would I care about these?" In a flash, Weiyang subconsciously thought of what Liu Lang said about her little bun, and clenched her fists in anger. "I am." Weiyang tried hard to focus her gaze on Zhao Xiaohei's face. Weiyang does not wear any makeup, but she is still as beautiful as a fairy. Zhao Xiaohei, on the other hand, was of a completely different style. Although she was good-looking, she wore heavy makeup on her face and her perfume could be smelled from 800 miles away. "Who are you?" Weiyang asked again. "Zhao Yang is my younger brother." Zhao Xiaohei said, "My name is Zhao Xiaohei, I just want to ask you one question, is Zhao Yang's death related to you?" "I don't know any Zhao Yang." Weiyang's face darkened. Bang! Zhao Xiaohei slapped Weiyang on the face. "Bitch, you actually said you don't know Zhao Yang? Humph, try saying it again." Weiyang didn't expect this woman to hit him as soon as she said so. She covered her face and said angrily, "Why did you hit me? I'll ask you again, does Zhao Yang's death have anything to do with you?" Zhao Xiaohei glared at Weiyang and said, "If you don't tell the truth, I will let along and who have some fun with you." As he said this, he turned his head and glanced at the 2 black bodyguards behind him. The 2 black bodyguards were both about 1.9 meters tall. When they saw Zhao Xiaohei looking at them, they immediately walked towards Weiyang. Weiyang was so scared that she shouted outside, "Someone, come quickly." In this situation, you don't have to think about what Zhao Xiaohei wants to do. "Hello." At this time, a voice sounded. Liu Lang leaned against the door, his eyes full of coldness. He glanced at the 2 black men and his gaze fell on Zhao Xiaohei. If my guess is correct, this woman should be the slutty bitch who slapped Chen Bing. Liu Lang, why are you here?" When Weiyang saw Liu Lang, she felt like she had seen a savior and quickly ran behind Liu Lang and hid. "My sister insisted that I be your bodyguard and driver. Do you think I want to come?" As soon as Liu Lang opened his mouth, Weiyang was so angry that she opened her mouth and bit Liu Lang's shoulder. "Ouch, you are born in the year of the dog. Liu Lang pushed Yi Weiyang away, but suddenly he felt something was wrong. It seems that the push position is not right. Yi Weiyang blushed and said angrily, "Where are you touching?" "Wait a minute." Liu Lang grabbed it twice. "Oh, I know where I touched." Yi Weiyang was stunned. She didn't expect Liu Lang to take advantage of her so blatantly. You hooligan." Yi Weiyang quickly took several steps back, feeling embarrassed and annoyed. "This bastard, why does he make me so angry every time I see him? And I always get taken advantage of. But why can't I feel disgusted? Where did you come from?" Seeing that Liu Lang and the other man were flirting in front of him, Zhao Xiaohei directly scolded them, "If you don't want to cause trouble, get out of here." Liu Lang raised his head and looked at Zhao Xiaohei with a smile, as if he had seen something special. "Oh, Black Fungus, you are really good at playing." What did you say?" Zhao Xiaohei didn't expect Liu Lang to be so vulgar right from the start. He was so angry that he pointed at Liu Lang and yelled, "What did you say? If you have the guts, try saying it again. What's wrong? You don't want people to talk about your black fungus." Liu Lang glanced at the two black men provocatively. TSK, there's an old saying that goes, men don't keep cats and women don't keep dogs. I didn't expect that you not only keep dogs, but also two black dogs. Hey, you should go to the hospital if you play so wildly." How did you know?" Zhao Xiaohei stared at Liu Lang in shock. At first she thought Liu Lang was slandering her on purpose. But when he heard Liu Lang's next words, he was completely stunned. Her two bodyguards were carefully selected in bed. But no one else knew about this. Liu Lang actually said it out loud. "And let me go to the hospital. Is this a curse on myself to have that disease? This is outrageous. Along and Ahu, kill him." Zhao Xiaohei was so angry that his chest was shaking. He didn't care who Liu Lang was at all and directly ordered the two black bodyguards. "Along and Ahu." Liu Lang shook his head. "I think they should be called a Mao and a Gu." "Fuck." The two black men cursed and rushed towards Liu Lang. One of them raised his fist and smashed it towards Liu Lang's head. There is absolutely no intention of holding back. "Liu Lang, be careful." Yi Weiyang shouted quickly upon seeing this. "Oh, you're still worried about me?" Liu Lang said with a joking smile, "But don't worry, I don't really care about these two things." After saying that, he rushed out in one leap. Bang! Bang! Before anyone could react, the two black men flew backwards and fell heavily to the ground, holding their stomachs and wailing. How is this possible?" Zhao Xiaohei was so shocked that he subconsciously covered his butt. Something tightened. The two bodyguards he hired were both from underground boxing backgrounds, and they have super strong physical strength and endurance. How could it be so vulnerable? Although Yi Weiyang knew that Liu Lang was a good fighter, it was still hard to believe that he was so powerful. It seems that the 1 million was worth it. "Humph, you make me angry every time. The more angry you make me, the more I can't let you go." Bang! Yi Weiyang had Liu Lang's support, so he quickly walked up to Zhao Xiaohei and slapped him in the face. "Bitch, this is Weiyang Group, I'm giving you this slap. Also, Zhao Yang deserved to die. Even though it has nothing to do with me, I am just happy. Immediately. Get out of here right now. Bitch, you wait." Zhao Xiaohei covered his face with his hands, looking full of resentment. "Great, I didn't expect you to keep a gigolo." "Har har, Yi Weiyang, we are not done yet." He gave Liu Lang a fierce look and said, "Boy, if you have the guts, tell me your name." Liu Lang came in front of Zhao Xiaohei and slapped him on the butt. "What's the matter? 2 black dogs are not enough, and you want to call me?" After being slapped by Liu Lang, Zhao Xiaohei couldn't help but let out a cry that would make any man feel weak all over. Chapter 26 Enemies. Damn it! Hearing Zhao Xiaohei's cry, Liu Lang shuddered unconsciously, and then thought of Manager Zhang at the bank. There is a kind of meanness that can really penetrate into the bones. However, there seem to be some differences between the messages sent by different people. If this sound was made by fatty Manager Zhang, it could only be the cry of a pig. But Zhao Xiaohei's voice still had a hint of temptation. But after slapping the other person, Liu Lang suddenly lost interest. "So it's a pad?" Liu Lang muttered. "What did you say?" Zhao Xiaohei shouted angrily, "Don't talk nonsense." "Nonsense." Liu Lang shook his head. I am still very confident in my feelings. Har har, when I first saw you I thought you were real. I was shocked you were so big. Now it seems like it's all high-tech. He raised his hand and pressed it on Zhao Xiaohei's chest. Then, squeeze it hard. Phew. The next second, that spectacular side suddenly deflated rapidly. Weiyang was just about to scold Liu Lang for being so rogue and so blatant. But before he could open his mouth, he was completely stunned. What's going on? Zhao Xiaohei was stunned. Look down. One side is big, the other side is deflated. Oh, just wait, I won't let today's incident go. He quickly covered his chest and fled in embarrassment. The two black men helped each other to get up, and then they ran away staggeringly. Weiyang looked at Liu Lang with complicated eyes, seeming to want to say something but stopping herself. Liu Lang walked to the sofa and sat down. Don't thank me, please call me the ruthless little prince. Destroying flowers. I think you should be called a blasting expert. Liu Lang, I have already paid the money to Su Deji. Although Zhao Yang is dead, we don't need to fake marriage for the time being. But next, you must listen to my arrangements, otherwise I will go to your sister, that miser, to ask for money. Weiyang suppressed their complaints in her heart and confronted Liu Lang directly. Weiyang knew Su Deji too well. Su Deji is a paixio, who only takes in and never leaves. As long as Su Deji accepts the money, Liu Lang will have to follow Su Deji's arrangements. Please, I didn't sell it to you. Liu Lang calculated, I just saved you and helped you save face. I'll pay you back 200,000 yuan. Once I pay you back the remaining 800,000 yuan, I can leave. 200,000. Weiyang didn't expect Liu Lang to settle accounts with her like this. What's wrong? You don't think it's expensive, do you? Liu Lang crossed his legs, picked up the cup of water on the coffee table and took a sip. To be honest, I paid a lot. Back then, the Prince of the United Arab Emirates offered me 800 million yuan to help, but I refused. The 200,000 yuan was purely out of consideration for you being my sister's best friend. If the Prince of the United Arab Emirates knew about this, wouldn't that be a slap in his face? You'll die if you don't brag. Weiyang was speechless for a while, but when she saw the cup of water in Liu Lang's hand, she screamed, "Oh, what are you doing?" Liu Lang was puzzled and put down the cup. Drink some water. You, disgusting. Although Weiyang and Liu Lang had been husband and wife, she was actually anesthetized by alcohol at the time and her consciousness was hyper. But she is a germaphobe. Now, Liu Lang actually drank the cup of water that he had just drunk from. There's my own saliva on it. I remembered that my saliva had gone into Liu Lang's stomach. So disgusting. Seeing Liu Lang's nonchalant look, Weiyang rushed over, snatched the cup and threw it into the trash can. TSK, so pretentious. Liu Lang finally understood why Weiyang was so exaggerated. She is dissatisfied with me for drinking her water. When you are so thirsty that you are about to die, you will still drink urine. After a long while, Weiyang tried to calm down and said, I owe you a favor for what happened today. But you can't just ignore your sister's words, right? She asked you to stay by my side and protect me for 3 months. If you don't agree, I will tell your sister. The close-fitting kind. Liu Lang asked playfully. Looking at Liu Lang's mean eyes, Weiyang felt angry for no reason. But when I think about it, Liu Lang's skills are indeed amazing. Now that the beauty cream is at a critical juncture in its development, my personal safety might actually be threatened. If Liu Lang were to stay with him, it would indeed save him a lot of trouble. I don't want what happened today to happen again. After knowing Liu Lang's temper, Weiyang didn't respond directly, that Zhao Xiaohei is Zhao Yang's sister. The people in the security department just got a salary increase. Liu Lang, I gave them a salary increase for your sake. You are capable, so you have to make the security department take responsibility. Next time, if that bitch Zhao Xiaohei comes in again, I will fire all those security guards. A naked threat. Liu Lang didn't expect that Weiyang was not stupid. Although he had nothing to do with those security guards, he could not let them be fired even for the sake of face. TSK, it's a piece of cake. Liu Lang stood up and said, for the sake of your father, no, for the sake of my sister, from now on, not a single fly can fly in without my permission. Turn around and leave. Weiyang looked suspicious. Dad? The guy just now seemed to be talking about Dad, right? Or, did I hear it wrong? At this moment, a man ran in a panic and almost bumped into Liu Lang. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. The man who came was an old man in his 60s wearing a white coat. After the old man hurriedly apologized to Liu Lang, he quickly came to Yi Weiyang and said dejectedly, Boss Yi, we failed again. Mr. Sun, it still doesn't work. Yi Weiyang was obviously disappointed. Sun Qingyan sighed and slapped himself in the face, Boss Yi, I failed your trust. I am really useless. It's been so long, and I still don't understand what went wrong. Seeing that Sun Qingyan was about to slap her again, Yi Weiyang quickly grabbed his wrist and said, Mr. Sun, please don't say that. I am already very grateful that you were willing to help me. Perhaps, that kind of perfect beauty cream really does not exist. When saying this, Yi Weiyang's eyes were full of regret. She originally thought she could create a miracle in the cosmetics industry. But now it seems like nothing more than a fantasy. But, Mr. Yi, the formula should be fine. Sun Qingyan was still a little unwilling and sighed, why don't you come with me to take a look? Yi Weiyang nodded and prepared to go to the laboratory with Sun Qingyan. When passing by Liu Lang, seeing that Liu Lang had not left yet, Yi Weiyang subconsciously asked, what are you looking at? Although you are good at fighting, do you understand cosmetics? Yi Weiyang said this just to deliberately squeeze Liu Lang and save some face. Unexpectedly, Liu Lang said nonchalantly, besides giving birth to a child, there is nothing else I don't understand. Mr. Yi, who is he? Sun Qingyan asked with a frown when he saw Liu Lang speaking so arrogantly. It doesn't matter who I am. What matters is that you don't understand cosmetics at all. Liu Lang spoke directly, making Sun Qingyan's face turn pale with anger. How can this be? Where did you come from, you ignorant brat? You said I don't understand cosmetics? Humph, I'm an expert specially hired by Mr. Yi. Even the world's top cosmetics companies have hired me as a consultant, but I'm not interested at all. If it weren't for Mr. Yi's formula, I wouldn't have come to Weiyang Group no matter how much money I spent. Now, you say I don't know anything about cosmetics. How shameless. Chapter 27 Beauty Cream. Sun Qingyan finished speaking in one breath, and his goatee stood up in anger. Yi Weiyang also frowned. That's right, Mr. Sun is definitely a leading figure in the cosmetics industry. You actually questioned whether Mr. Sun knew anything about cosmetics. Well, tell me, do you know anything about cosmetics? Liu Lang took a deep breath, Dangui, ginseng, angelica, chrysanthemum. Boom. When Liu Lang named the Chinese medicines one by one, Sun Qingyan's mind was like thunder. He widened his eyes and looked incredulous. You, how did you know that? TSK, you smell like these drugs. Liu Lang said calmly. Impossible. Sun Qingyan raised his wrist and sniffed hard, but could not smell anything at all. Liu Lang continued, just because you can't smell it doesn't mean I can't smell it. So, I said you don't understand cosmetics. Mr. Sun, even if you are one of the best in the field of cosmetics, you only regard cosmetics as a part of beauty, but you don't understand its essence. Sun Qingyan's expression has changed a little. But he still said stubbornly, essence? Humph, even if you can guess the medicinal materials I used, so what? Tell me, what is the essence of cosmetics? Traditional Chinese medicine. Liu Lang uttered two words. Sun Qingyan's pupils shrank. Traditional Chinese medicine. That's right. In traditional Chinese medicine, cosmetics are nothing more than external medicines that improve the skin. Therefore, the core of cosmetics is still traditional Chinese medicine. Sun Qingyan suddenly seemed to have an epiphany, and murmured, traditional Chinese medicine, that's right. I have studied cosmetics for so many years, but I just regarded them as cosmetics and never thought about this. At this point, Sun Qingyan stared at Liu Lang, still a little unconvinced in his heart. Even if you use sweet words, no one can shake my position in cosmetics. Humph, since you are so amazing, then you should tell me how to improve the beauty effect. Liu Lang raised his lips slightly, took a deep breath, closed his eyes and recalled, from the smell of your body, if I'm not mistaken, you are researching a beauty cream. This beauty cream can make the skin more elastic and even more youthful and delicate. It is no exaggeration to say that if you apply this beauty cream, you can look at least 10 years younger. If you use it for a long time, you can be 20 years younger. All correct. Sun Qingyan's face was filled with shock. Yi Weiyang also opened her mouth. staring at Liu Lang as if he were a monster. After a moment, Weiyang seemed to suddenly think of something and called out vigilantly, "Liu Lang, did you steal our company's secrets?" "Steal?" Liu Lang said disdainfully, "I don't even bother to steal from your broken recipe. How do you know it's from Canfang?" Weiyang felt more and more that Liu Lang had ulterior motives in coming to Weiyang Group. "Come on, you just said that." Liu Lang said speechlessly, "The incomplete prescription is missing a herb called Polygonatum odoratum." "Yuju?" Sun Qingyan's mind seemed to be electrified, and he slapped his head. "Yuju, my god, Yuju, I understand, Yuju. Master, master." As he spoke, Sun Qingyan grabbed Liu Lang's hand and almost knelt down before Liu Lang, but Liu Lang pulled him back. "What are you doing? My disciple is stupid, my disciple is stupid. Har har, I figured it out. After experimenting for so long, the only thing missing is Polygonatum odoratum." Sun Qingyan was so excited that his face turned red. He said to Yi Weiyang, "Boss Yi, the incomplete recipe is missing one ingredient, Polygonatum odoratum. With Polygonatum odoratum, the beauty cream will definitely achieve magical effects." "Mr. Sun, are you kidding?" Yi Weiyang was still a little bit incredulous. Yes, I will go and experiment now." Sun Qingyan nodded vigorously, turned around and ran away in a hurry, leaving Yi Weiyang still in a daze. "Come with me." After a moment, Yi Weiyang came to his senses and pulled Liu Lang straight to the laboratory. Sun Qingyan is obviously crazy about cosmetics research. He quickly started the experiment and didn't even look up when Yi Weiyang came. Do you really understand cosmetics?" Yi Weiyang looked at Sun Qingyan's condition and looked at Liu Lang in confusion. "What do you feel?" Liu Lang asked back. After smelling the herbal scent on Sun Qingyan, Liu Lang immediately understood what the precious prescription they were talking about was. "Isn't that the medicine that the weird old man mentioned that can keep you young? The strange old man once said that he gave this prescription to his woman. According to this, the formula of this beauty cream should have fallen into Yi Qingqing's hands, but after all these years of twists and turns, the formula is missing an ingredient." Sun Qingyan was extremely obsessed with this, and when he saw the prescription, he accepted Yi Weiyang's invitation. "Stop pretending." Yi Weiyang looked at Liu Lang's boastful look and couldn't help but snorted. "I think you are just a blind cat that has caught a dead mouse. Humph, when my mother gave me this recipe, she told me that there was only one person in the world who knew the complete recipe. Don't tell me that person is you." "That's right. Now that the strange old man is dead, although Yi Qingqing is great at disguise, she is obviously not proficient in beauty formulas, otherwise she would not have given Yi Weiyang only an incomplete prescription. If that is the case, then I'm the only one in the world who knows this recipe?" Still bragging. Yi Weiyang would never believe it. "Oh my god. It worked. Har har, it worked." At this time, Sun Qingyan suddenly shouted, "Boss Yi, it's a success, the beauty cream is a success." As he shouted, Sun Qingyan saw Liu Lang, ran directly to Liu Lang, and knelt on the ground with a plop. "Senior, please accept my disciple's greetings." "What are you doing?" Liu Lang went forward to pull Sun Qingyan up, but Sun Qingyan refused to get up. "Master, please accept me as your disciple." "If you don't accept me as your disciple, I won't get up." Turns out to be a scoundrel. "Then you kneel down." Liu Lang simply let go of his hand and turned away. "If everything is fine, I'll go talk to the security guards." Sun Qingyan was dumbfounded. Why doesn't this young man play by the rules? He quickly stood up and shouted loudly, "Master, I am truly convinced by you, please accept me." "Why accept a disciple? It's just a broken recipe." Liu Lang said, "From now on, just stay and guard this formula for Weiyang Group." Of course. If someone wants to get the formula, I won't tell them even if they kill me." Sun Qingyan nodded repeatedly. Seeing that Liu Lang didn't want to accept him as a disciple, he glanced at Yi Weiyang and said, "Master, what is your relationship with Mr. Yi?" "It doesn't matter," Yi Weiyang said directly. Sun Qingyan heaved a sigh of relief and said slyly, "Well, Master, I have a granddaughter who is as young and talented as you." "Mr. Sun, Liu Lang has something else to do, please go ahead and do your work first." Yi Weiyang understood what Sun Qingyan meant, so she interrupted him and pushed Liu Lang out. Sun Qingyan scratched his head and said, "I really have a granddaughter. What's wrong? Is it wrong for me to have a granddaughter?" But seeing that Yi Weiyang and Liu Lang had left, a trace of regret flashed across Sun Qingyan's face. Thinking of the beauty cream he had just successfully made, he turned around and went back to researching it. Out of the lab. Yi Weiyang looked at Liu Lang strangely. How did you know that formula?